Okay, looks like we're live. It looks like we're live. Testing, testing. Okay, I think the mic audio is good, but we'll let the audience determine that. What's up, everybody? We're here. We're live. We're gonna have ourselves a little, debate. Just give me a second here. Move this over there. Yeah, that's a good idea. Move that back over there. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? All right. We are waiting for the Globetard to join. Random line motherfuckers. Hey.
Hey.
What's up, bro?
That's loud.
All right, give me half a second, cause okay, so the audio is coming out of the television. So, and I don't think there's basically anything I can. By the way, you can hear me, right? Of the television. Yeah. Okay, great. So, in that case, what I need to do is probably best if I just unplug the TV. Because if I have you coming out of the speaker, it's probably going to create an echo.
There was no, but it's gone.
Huh?
There was an echo, but it's gone. It's okay.
Well, no, it's not just you. It's also the people who are listening. So I mean, it's going to create a little bit of an issue. Because I need that second screen. So just give me a second here to think of an alternative.
I know how it is.
Oh yeah, well it can get crazy sometimes. Yeah, that's going to be the best method because I don't know of a way to turn. Oh, actually, well no, because that's the issue. All right, don't worry about it. Let me just see if there's a setting here on Google Hangouts that I could run your audio to my headphones here. Report additional diagnostics? No. Default. Interesting. My speakers. Okay, this might actually solve it. Let's see what happens. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're still coming through the TV, so that didn't do it. Let's try. I doubt that's gonna do. Let's just try that. Can you say something? Ah! It worked! Hell yeah! All right. So it's called speakers. Okay, great. All right, everybody. I want to confirm one last time. Can you guys hear me pretty decently? Can you guys hear me okay? Just give me a second while the chat confirms. May not be perfect, guys, but can you at least hear me pretty well? Just waiting for the chat to... Okay, sounds great. Everybody can hear. Okay, Tommy, could you just say a couple things? I want to make sure. Guys, can you hear Tommy? Go. Perfect. Guys, let me know. Can you hear Tommy? Type 1 in the chat if you can hear Tommy. Hang on, guys. It'll take a second. I'm getting a lot of no's, so that... I got 1-1. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, he only spoke for a second, so... All right, Tommy, just go ahead and introduce yourself. Tommy is going to introduce himself. So while he's talking, you guys let me know if you can hear him. Go, Tommy. Give me a good 1-minute intro. Audience, let me know. Great. Did anybody fucking hear that? God damn it. Okay, I'm just gonna go back to the other method. I'll have to hide the Hangout off the screen. That's pretty annoying. Um, God damn it. Okay. All right, let's just try one last quick thing here. Default done. Can you say something real quick? Just say hi.
Hello.
Okay. Guys, Tommy, if you can just spiel on for another 30 seconds about something, and then I know I apologize. I really do, man.
Yeah,
And
I know how it is.
all right, Tommy's gonna talk.
Yeah.
Let me know if you can hear him. Go.
Yeah, it's sunshine in Norway now, and I can see the sun. By the way, I live in just north of Oslo at 60 degrees, and I can see Polaris at 60 degrees. So that's
Okay,
another.
perfect. Perfect. Everybody hears you. Okay, we're gonna have to do that. All right. So if that's the case, then what I'm gonna do is. Hang on.
In my last hangout, I had to unplug my headphones, so the sound from the other guy was out on the
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah. This should solve the issue now.
OBS is a bitch.
Yeah, I'm using XSplit, which is pretty bad. It's just they're all terrible. All right, everybody. Can you guys hear me talking right now? Can you guys hear me talking right now? Okay. Super. Great. And then now, Tommy, just go ahead, just say in one last extra sentence.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this debate, and hopefully we can have a civil one and stick to the topic when we're talking.
Great. And you guys just heard Tommy, right? Okay, looks like we're all set to go. All right, man. Sweet. Let me just introduce the whole thing. Let me double check all my metrics. All my systems are a go. Everything looks a go. You get rid of this. Facebook crap, don't need that. There's Tommy. He's ready to go. I'm ready to go. Everybody's ready to go. Great. Okay, guys, me and Tommy have gone back and forth in comments and chats. You know, we're here. We're going to see if there's any proof we live on a spinning space ball. I've said it a million times. I think the burden of proof is on the sphere. But maybe Tommy will dispute that, whatever. So that's it. So I guess here we are, bro. I mean, where do we start, bro?
First of all, with who's got to have the proof? Let's just see what we got and compare the results. That's my standpoint.
Okay, cool. So you're not one of those people who are like, the scientific consensus is on our side, so shut up and, submit to my will, flat earther. You're not one of those types?
No, I don't use that science crap.
You don't use appeal to consensus, you mean?
First of all, I'm from Norway, so I don't use all these words.
What word?
Those, you have everyone talking about fallacies and how the word mean and all that stuff. So
you guys don't use logical fallacies in Norway?
Probably yes, but I don't use fallacies as an excuse to get away from something.
Well, I mean, both sides use that because I think it's a real thing. It's a logical fallacy. It's fallacious reasoning, fallacious argumentation. So that's what I would just say up front is like, I think it's a real thing, but that's fine. If you don't want to get into that, we can just stick to the observations and the evidence, right?
Yeah, sure, we can do some, you call it scientific stuff, but I don't use all those words because I don't have them in Norwegian. So.
Oh, okay. I think
English is not my first language.
I understand what you mean, that you don't call it
the
same thing over there. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Sounds great. All right, well, who goes first?
Yeah, I just want to know how anyone can believe that the Earth is flat. There's no... all the daily observations point to a globe.
Okay. Well, the primary reason to question the globe is because there's the evidence for the globe is so trashy.
Well, they would disagree. So yeah.
I bet you do disagree. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Just like I heard Sean Hawkins tell you over and over again that we can see Polaris from the angle at the latitude we're on.
I'm shocked you would go with that terrible argument that Sean loves to use, but you want to start there, we can start there.
Yeah, that's one of them. Because I live at 60 degrees and I can see Polaris at 60 degrees.
Right.
Where do you live?
Well, your claim about being able to see.
Do you live on the West Coast?
Your claim about being able to see Polaris before it appears to hit the horizon and is no longer visible on the equator, that alleged proof, basically it all hinges on how far away you presuppose Polaris is.
No, because it's an observation. It's a point of light. It doesn't matter how far away it is, what it is. It's a point of light that we can observe, and it is where it is observed. So it doesn't matter how far away it is.
Man. Oh, no, please, man. Jesus, no, please. Okay, so let me get this straight. What is your point about the 60 degrees and you being able to see Polaris? What can you expound for the viewers who don't know, please?
Yeah, I asked you, where do you live?
I live on the east coast of the United States.
East Coast, somewhere near New York?
South Florida, Miami, Florida.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna get up. SketchUp. I made this. You know me, I'm about models, but I have this on about your degree here.
I'm going to. Okay, are you going to share your screen or something?
Probably in a minute.
All right, I gotta find a way to block the Hangout link. So let me.
I got I don't get it up. I got that covered.
I wonder if I could. Can I just backspace and it doesn't let you delete it? How stupid. Okay, that's fine. Oh Jesus. Oh God, it's such a pain. Give me half a second here. What would be a good?
Yeah, sure.
What would be a good method to block the link out? Okay, I'm going to go to the XSplit broadcaster. And what we're going to do is we're going to raise this up and block the top of the screen. And then that means that I'm going to give this a try, see if this works. 1 second, guys. Oh God, I hope this works. All right, I'll just
no rush.
Trying to send it over there. No, we want it above the screen. Okay, wait. Actually, okay, that's okay. Perfect. All right, we're gonna move. Jesus Christ. Because if they see that link, it's all over for us. You understand that?
Yeah, no. I'm going to. Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to maximize this. I'm gonna blow that up. In fact, I'm gonna actually just maximize this because it's cutting off the top of the screen. So, oh God, I hope that works. Okay. Let me just check.
Yeah, but you got the top of the screen at the top of your screen, so that's okay, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think we're good to go. Let me just check the live stream itself. Just want to see what it looks like.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think we're good to go. Let me just minus it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get this out of the way, and we're going to see if that works. Just half a second. Okay, I think that works perfectly. All right, apologies. You can commence now.
Yeah. So that's the screen share window?
You want a screen share? Yeah, you click on the top right.
Yeah,
of the
I just want to make sure you...
Yeah, you're ready to go. You're ready to present.
Let's just see it pops up behind you.
Yeah, please don't share your link as well, obviously.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm sure you know that.
Yeah, I'm on.
Super.
So, I build a whole lot of flat Earth models. I don't know if this is the one you think how it looks like, but this is the most used one. this is the distance from the North Pole to the equator, and I scaled it from miles to feet, so it's 1 to 5,280.
Uh-huh.
This is with the sun 3,000 miles up and Polaris 5,000 miles up. And as I'm living in Norway, I live in Oslo, just north of Oslo, at 60 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
But then it hits up here.
Mm-hmm.
If you live in, I don't have Tampa, but I have Jacksonville at 30 degrees. That's down here. And that doesn't match at all. Nothing matches of the Polaris on the flat Earth.
Okay. All right. So I guess that gets the point across. Okay, would you say that on the sphere Earth, when you're at the North Pole, are you saying Polaris is above your head?
Straight up, yeah.
Okay, and then when you're and then as you get closer to the equator, Polaris moves down towards the horizon. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, by 1 degree every 69 miles.
Right, and then once you get past the equator, it disappears basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, again, like I said, you're presupposing the distance to Polaris, which means that there's going to be little to no parallax change as you move across the face of the Earth. And because of that, well, that's your issue. You're assuming it's so far away that no movement, like let's say you're standing on Earth, no movement of yourself, moving your body around the Earth, will not do any change to its apparent location in the sky, because you presuppose it's so far away that it will literally appear to be in the exact same point no matter where you move.
No.
Whereas you say it's disappearing because you're moving around a ball and the curve is starting to eat up into it.
I don't presuppose the distance. I just this is simple observations.
Well, what I'm trying to tell you is that there's another explanation for why Polaris appears to descend in the sky towards the horizon and then disappear into the horizon. Let me just explain further where I'm coming from. So, what I'm saying is this: I'm going to submit to you that the reason Polaris appears to descend in the sky as you move closer to the quote equator is because you are moving further away from Polaris, and I'm going to say the P word, perspective, is causing it to appear to descend lower towards the equator. That's what I'm suggesting here. And if you assume Polaris is so far away that no amount of movement of the person on the face of the Earth will cause it to appear to change its position in the sky, then that's why you have your globe model explanation. But what I'm saying is, what if Polaris is a lot closer than they tell us, and thus, because it's much closer, you moving across a flat Earth will cause it to appear to change its position in your field of view in the sky as you look up to it due to angular size and perspective. That's what I'm suggesting as the alternative.
Yeah. But and again, I don't suppose I don't say it's several billion light years away. It could be just as close as in my model here, but still, all the lines are pointing straight up with the same observations.
Well, the argument you're making presupposes that the light from Polaris comes in parallel. That it's so far away that the light rays come in parallel. And what I'm saying is that what if it's closer? They don't come in parallel, and moreover, what if it appears to descend towards the horizon because of angular size and perspective? That's what I'm saying.
Then you have some serious angles to deal with here, because from let's say Dakar here in 15 degrees, then you have the difference. This is the difference between me and Dakar, and
Where is
that's a
where is Polaris in your model?
straight up. The altitude doesn't matter because the lines doesn't match at all, and you have to have
The
some serious.
altitude, sorry, the altitude does matter because the closer it is, the less parallax effects. Sorry, the closer it is, the more parallax change you will see in its apparent location above your head due to angular size and perspective.
Parallax is just no wrong.
If it's really, really far away, your movement around the Earth will not cause it to appear to change its position above your head. But if it's really close to you, really close above your head, then it will be more affected by parallax, or rather, I guess you could say there would be less parallax, whichever way you want to look at it. But the point is that it will appear to move in your field of view, that it will appear to move above your head because it's appearing to descend. The further away it is from you, it'll appear to descend towards, well, I'm not going to say horizon because I know you guys don't think that the horizon on the sphere Earth is the same as the vanishing line caused by perspective. I do. I believe that the horizon, the literal horizon, when you stand on the ocean, you look out at the ocean, you see the horizon. I am going to say that that is the vanishing line of perspective. It's the convergence zone of your field of view. So I'm sorry, but yes, how far away Polaris is absolutely will affect the degree to which it appears to move in your field of view due to perspective, depending on where you are in relation to it. Absolutely.
But then you need, as I said, you need an angle that's, you need to have a mirror up there. You need to angle that light 90 degrees at the North Pole. From Polaris to the North Pole and down to Quito.
What do you mean a mirror?
You need to have that to angle the light that much.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, if Polaris is just above the, let's say, 5,000 miles above the North Pole, and someone at Quito sees it down at the horizon, you need to angle that light 90 degrees.
Is that on the globe model?
No, that's on the flat Earth model I had.
Yeah, well, first of all, let's be honest here. Your flat Earth model is nothing official. Like, I understand the flat earthers don't have a fully mapped out model because we don't have 2,000 years plus all the funding and support of governments, educational institutions, science, universities, etc. But I'm not gonna fall into the fallacy, and I know you don't like those words, I guess. I'm not gonna fall into the fallacy of a model that I'm not even gonna say is 100% accurate. So I don't buy that. But here's a quick thing I want to ask you. Do you at least understand? Okay, look, on the sphere Earth model, when you're standing at the North Pole, Polaris is right above your head. This is a sphere Earth model. And then as you move, I have a globe. I always forget I bought this fucking globe for Godless Engineer. Guys, look, when you're standing on the North Pole, Polaris, according to the globe model, is directly above your head. You know, more or less. It's up. You got to look up. It's above your head. But as you get closer to the equator, because they say you're going around the ball, Polaris appears to descend in the sky to the horizon. And once you get to this side, the equator, once you get below the equator, they tell you that Polaris is no longer visible because the giant curve of the Earth is now blocking Polaris.
Yeah.
And again, this all presupposes that Polaris is so far away that its light rays come in parallel. So what I'm trying to say is that, what if, and I just want to ask you if this makes sense, if the Earth was flat and we needed to find an explanation for why Polaris appears to descend towards the horizon as you move further away from it. do you think there's at least something there? Do you see where I'm coming from when I say that the reason Polaris appears to descend towards the horizon vanishing line is because you're moving further away from it? I mean, you understand how perspective works, right? You understand that, if you're in a long hallway and there's a light above your head, and all the lights in the hallway on the ceiling, they appear to descend down to your vanishing to your eye level. You understand that phenomenon, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right. So that's where I'm coming from. That's what I'm saying is happening with Polaris. It's not that a physical curve is blocking Polaris. I'm saying Polaris is closer to us, thus is beholden to perspective, beholden to angular size, and it's appearing to descend to the eye level, i.e. horizon, and I know you don't think they're the same, but I do. And that's why it disappears at the equator. Not because it's disappearing behind the curve of the Earth, but because it's disappearing into the horizon vanishing point of the viewer. I'm not saying that you agree, but do you understand at least the mechanics of what I'm trying to say there?
Some of it, yeah, sure. Perspective works kind of like that, but you have some big holes there.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. If I can screen share again.
Yes, go for it.
Am I on?
I don't see your screen, but I just see your icon.
Oh, I forgot that one. So, yeah. Thing is, on this model, again, as you say, flat earthers don't have one exact model, but this is the one who's most used. And from this point, Wade's Underworld in Australia, in Sydney, has Polaris at a higher angle in the sky than I have the winter sun. He have the Polaris at 32 degrees. I had a winter sun at 28 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So he should be able to see Polaris.
Where was so this is okay, so this is the azimuthal equidistant map. I'll entertain the model that I don't even agree with just for the sake of argument.
Yeah.
So where were you? Could you point to where you were on could you point to where you were on the model?
I'm here in Norway.
Okay.
Just north of Oslo.
So you're telling me that you did a real world observation, is that correct?
No, this is the numbers based upon the flat Earth model, on this flat Earth model.
Okay, so but you told me you can see Polaris, right?
Yeah, I see Polaris at 60 degrees.
Okay, so you see Polaris at 60 degrees, and then what's happening with the guy in Australia?
He should be able to see it at 31 degrees.
Does this presuppose that Polaris's light rays come in parallel?
This supposes that the light travels in a straight line.
No. Do they come in parallel because it's so far away? You know how they say that the sun is so far away that its light rays come in parallel? They say Polaris is so far away because the light rays come in parallel. Is this flat Earth model you're presenting, does it presuppose that Polaris is so far away that its light rays come in parallel?
I'm not quite sure if we talk the same language here, but I can show you what I mean.
Sure.
I have the...
Because the distance you set for Polaris, if it's the distance that you set for Polaris, if it's not so far away that the light rays don't come in parallel, then the distance you set is going to absolutely affect its apparent position and location in the sky. So that's absolutely critical, and that's something that the globe model just ignores. They just say, oh, it's so far away, it all comes in parallel. And the moment they're not coming in parallel because it's not so far away, changes in how far away it is will change its apparent location in the sky. So yes, that absolutely matters. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so this is Earth and the Sun in scale. This is 1 to 1 million, so this is a scale model of the Sun and the Earth.
Yep.
And yeah, the line comes pretty much parallel in this. The difference between parallel and this lines is pretty much nothing. So it seems to be parallel because the sun is so far away.
Right. Yes, I understand
So
this. Yes, I understand. So, okay, so you're confirming for me that in your flat Earth model, Polaris is so far away that the light rays come in parallel?
or it is just a small point, so it's a one single line of light. That really doesn't matter, but sure, yeah.
Well, it does matter because that's that's why your argument holds any water, no pun intended, for the sphere. When you say that the light, the angles to Polaris, yeah, presupposing that the light rays are coming in parallel, straight down onto the top of the sphere. But if Polaris is way closer, then the light rays are no longer coming directly in parallel. They might be coming in at angles, spread out, and hitting your eyeball or whatever you're using to observe. And then that directly affects its apparent location in the sky.
Then again, it needs to be pretty big, to cover all that.
Well, you guys say it's really big and really far away, and then
No,
that's super convenient for you guys because then you can just say it comes in all parallel, and there's that.
To fit your description, it needs to be big, so we can all see it as you say. Because I say it's just a one single line of light
Well,
because it's so far
is
away.
big, but I mean, big's kind of a relative term. I mean, yeah, it's big, but it probably isn't as big as the globe model, the heliocentric model says. But my main point is that it's a lot closer, and when it's a lot
Yeah.
closer, there's less parallax effects. Like when you're driving down a road and there's trees right next to you, and the trees whiz by, but the
Yeah.
mountain that's really far away barely moves. The
Correct.
further away something is, the less it will appear to move in the sky, or the less it will appear to move when you're driving by that mountain far, far away. So you guys put it so far away that no amount of movement across a globe or a flat Earth will change its apparent location in the sky above you. What I'm telling you is, just like as an example in a long hallway, because the light is right there above your head. It's not trillions of light years away or whatever they say Polaris is. Because the light is so close, you have less of a parallax effect, so it will appear, as it gets further away from you, it will appear to move in your field of view much quicker, and indeed, when it gets far away enough, it's going to descend down to that vanishing line, i.e. eye level, in your field of view perspective. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But then again, you have the sun and the moon going around, and if you fit the same observations to the sun and the moon as you do to Polaris, how does that fit? That's
I'm sorry,
two
are you
objects.
changing topic from Polaris now? I just want to confirm that.
I just want to compare the Polaris to the sun and the moon.
Okay, so you're not conceding or moving on. You just want to make a separate point. Okay. Well, first of all, the sun is in a similar predicament to Polaris because you guys say conveniently it's so far away that the light rays come in parallel. So
Yeah.
the sun is, again, it's the same thing. It all really depends on how far away you presuppose these objects are. Polaris, the sun, the moon. I know you guys claim that you've measured the distance and all that stuff, but that's sort of a side point. Yeah, so I mean, I guess could you elaborate a little bit on what you mean about the sun and the moon and how that relates to Polaris?
Yeah, because as this is objects in the sky going around, and if they behave in total different ways, how can they be doing the same thing?
I'm sorry.
They are both.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that, man? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have both the sun and the stars in the sky, and then they're moving around. So how can they behave in such different ways, and we still see them do the same thing? If I put Polaris and the sun in my model, nothing fits. I can do it on the globe, but not on the flat.
Yeah, but all that presupposes the distance to them, bro.
No.
If you just change the distance, if it just changed the distance, you can find ways to make it work on the flat Earth. It's like what happened with Eratosthenes and the two sticks in the ground. It turns out, even Neil deGrasse Tyson admitted that, yeah, if you just assume the sun is way closer and the light rays don't come in parallel, because it's so far away. But indeed, it's closer. Neil deGrasse Tyson says that the sticks and the shadows by Eratosthenes work on a flat Earth too.
Yeah, if you have two sticks, yeah, sure.
So I have to ask you, how far away are you presupposing the sun is in this flat Earth model? Because clearly the distance to the sun or Polaris clearly plays a role in the effects you're going to get and the things that you observe. So in this flat Earth model, how far away are you presupposing the sun is?
In this one, it's 3,000 miles.
Okay, so you use the sort of Eratosthenes type thing. Okay, and guess what? It works. But what does this have to do with Polaris?
As I said, there are two different objects moving around in the sky. If we observe one of them doing other things than the other, they don't match. The observations don't match.
I'm sorry.
I can see Polaris. I can see Polaris at 60 degrees, and I can see the sun matching the predicted path of a globe Earth.
Wait, so I'm sorry, but that's within your presuppositions about the distance to them.
No. It's just about plain observation. I don't presuppose anything. I just do the observations and see what fits best on what model. Yeah, I'm not presupposing anything.
No, but I have to disagree with you there because, no. So what are you saying? That your observations of Polaris match the globe and your observations of the sun match the globe?
Yeah.
Yes. When you presuppose the distance to Polaris and the sun. All I'm saying is, because I don't believe you guys know the distances to these things. I think you guys have been presupposing it for hundreds, maybe thousands, actually literally thousands of years. I don't think you guys know the distances to them. And so if you don't know the distances to them, then, well, shit, the distance to them changes everything, which is exactly what happened with Eratosthenes. Neil deGrasse Tyson said it. If it's a lot closer, it works on a flat Earth. So you're not proving anything. Again, you're not proving anything by saying, I'm going to presuppose that they're really, really, really far away and the light rays come in parallel, and oh, look, it works on a globe. That's absolutely unacceptable.
Just to make sure, to me, the sun is a light in the sky. Polaris is a light in the sky. Nothing more than that. I just see how they behave and how they move.
Right, but you presuppose that they're so far away the light comes in parallel. You can't just... see, here's what you're saying. You're saying, I just know they're a light and I just observe them and nothing else matters. Neil deGrasse Tyson admitted that the distance you presuppose that the sun is changes everything about what you can derive from the observations. Meaning the Earth will appear flat in Eratosthenes' observations if you just assume the sun is closer.
You talk about Eratosthenes.
This is just standard Globetard circular reasoning presupposition shit, man.
Eratosthenes works with 2 sticks in the ground, but if you have 3 or more...
I know. You guys talk about the third and the linear versus non-linear functions. I'm aware of those. But again, what does this have to do with Polaris? Because now you're kind of shifting from Polaris to the sun. My point is, and I don't think you've really conceded yet, that if Polaris is much closer, is it not true that it will appear to move in the sky above your head if you get further away from it?
In one way, yes, but not as much as you say.
Wait, hold our horses here though, dude. Because all that depends on how far away the light is above your head and how much it's affected by parallax. So we need to determine how far away these lights in the sky are. And you guys pulled the sun's distance out of your ass, going back to Christopher Huygens 200-300 years ago, who calculated the distance to the sun by literally assuming, they even admit, the mainstream history admits, it was a guess. He just pulled it out of his ass, that Venus was the same size as the Earth. And then he got those two to calculate the distance to the sun. And then it just turns out that this massive guess he pulled out of his ass was confirmed later, by science and NASA, which is, of course, a ridiculous leap of faith I'm not going to take. So, dude, we need to, if anything, we need to explore the distances to these objects before we go any further.
as I said, to me, Polaris is a dot of light in the sky, and
You don't
as
seem
long
to
as
understand it, dude. You don't seem to understand it.
as long as we can see the Polaris at one place, that's the observations we need.
Okay, let me put it to you like this. You are showing the light rays in your little model, your fake simulation here. You are showing light rays that hit the Earth parallel. Neil, now let's talk about lights in the sky, because you don't want to talk about the distances. You just want to assume that you don't even think it matters. Dude, the distance to the light in the sky changes the observations you see. Neil deGrasse Tyson said that if the sun is closer, then the light rays are coming in at an angle. So you can't just say it's just a light and that's all I care about. The distance to the light matters. Neil deGrasse Tyson conceded that much.
Again, that is if you have 2 sticks in the ground, not 3 or
No,
more.
you don't understand. What I'm trying to say. Now, see, you don't. I think you might be playing dumb, but you don't. Here's the point I'm making. My point is that it's not about Eratosthenes. It's the principle of what Neil deGrasse Tyson said, which is that the distance you assume changes the outcome of the observation. And I'm taking that principle and applying it to Polaris. So it's not just a light in the sky. You have to know how far away it is to have a more accurate understanding of what you're witnessing.
No, because this. Oh wow!
No, it's true, Tommy. But it's true, dude. It's true. You just admitted that the distance to the light in the sky is going to change the angles at which it comes into the Earth, and literally could prove a sphere or it could prove a flat Earth in the Eratosthenes example. If it could literally change the ground you walk on, you don't think that could have an effect when it comes to looking at Polaris?
I said in one way it fits with the perspective, but you have big holes in there. Perspective alone doesn't do that much. And with Eratosthenes, 2 sticks works, not 3.
Okay,
that's my point.
Well, that's a deflection because we're talking about Polaris. We can go into Eratosthenes and the distance to the sun if you would like to, but we're focused on Polaris because you seem to think that its distance doesn't affect. And that's what's funny, dude, because you should know this. They say this is. I mean, I've heard conspiracy cats say this. He talks about the light rays from Polaris coming in parallel. That is essential. It's essential in Eratosthenes, and it's also essential if you're going to make claims about Polaris and what you're looking at. Again, we're talking about the hallway. We're talking about the light right above your head in the ceiling going out into the distance. Because that light is close, it's going to be more clearly affected by perspective and angular size. And it's going to appear lower in the world above your head, eventually descending to your eye level. And that's because it's so close. Now, they tell you Polaris is so far away that no amount of distance from you or you moving across the Earth is going to change its apparent location in the sky. They tell you that the reason it appears to descend to the horizon on the globe is because you're literally going around a giant curve obstruction. You're literally going around a giant curve obstruction. It has nothing to, it's not appearing to descend in the sky because of perspective and angular size, like the hallway lights in the ceiling above your head. No, it's only appearing to descend to eye level, or as you guys call it, the horizon, because you're going around a giant sphere and the sphere's getting in the way. So yes, the distance to Polaris absolutely matters, and you seem content with just ignoring that.
Yeah. So again, you can choose any height of Polaris you like to. If you want to have it 3,000 miles high or 5,000 miles high, perspective might do just a little bit, like in the hallway.
It depends how high it is.
Yeah, sure.
And it depends how far you move. On a flat Earth, even if it's 3,000 miles up, I don't even know the distance to Polaris. But when you're talking about moving thousands of miles across a flat Earth, a lot of stuff can take place in the sky above your head.
Yeah, but it's still 45 degrees from
everything you have in your little fake simulation model is assumptions, bro.
Yeah, because the assumptions of a globe fits better than the assumptions of a flat Earth.
No, they don't. The assumptions on the globe assume that subjective experience doesn't exist because that's part of the atheist physicalist model. It ignores perspective. It ignores angular size, and this is a side note, but this is the religion of the globe, and I'm not trying to offend. This is what I believe. This is the religion of the globe. The religion of the globe is that there is no soul, there is no subjective experiencer of life. So you guys had to take that variable out and assume that everything is pure geometry. But you're
So
ignoring
according to you, then
perspective.
perspective allows something to move from up here and all the way to down here just because of perspective. 45 degrees perspective.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's my point. So it really depends how far you assume Polaris is and how far you assume you're traveling across the face of the Earth. And again, it's a weird coincidence that the horizon on a sphere is so similar to perspective, and the way that when you look down a long hallway, the floor and the ceiling appear to meet at your eye level. That's just a weird ass coincidence.
To be honest, I don't really care about the horizon because the horizon can be explained on both models. I agree on that one. To me, what
that's let me just say real quick, that's devastating. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because what's behind the horizon, that's what matters to me.
Well, yes, you want to focus on what's behind the horizon because
you bring up the horizon, not me.
That's how the waving of the magic wand works. See, that's what I find funny about the globe is that your best proof of the globe is one of the best proofs of the globe that you guys assert is stuff that you can't see, obstruction. I think that's by design. Yeah. So, would you like to talk about the horizon a little bit, or?
Well, you brought up the horizon, not me.
We don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. I think it's a crazy coincidence that. Let me get a picture up here for the viewers. Hang on one second. I want to get a picture of a long hallway for the viewers. Because it's so analogous to the sphere Earth, it's kind of disturbing, actually. Just give me a second here. Long hallway. Let's get a good picture. Good picture. So see, why? See, so all you care about is what's behind the horizon. Well, yes, because that's the curve, right? That's the peak of the curve, and that's what obstructs things bottom up, right? Is that basically how it works?
Yeah, you said horizon, and I said the horizon on the globe and the sphere. Globe and the flat could be explained pretty well. So that's why I'm going behind the horizon.
Okay, great. Well, I want to explore that a little bit because that's insane that you would concede that. Now, look, Rumpus has conceded it. A few Globers have. I heard Fight the Flat Earth say that there can be no horizons on a flat Earth, and I thought that was so funny. He's going to regret that one. I have a picture here, just pulling it up real quick. All right, we have a picture of a long hallway here now, so let me just move this over here. Okay, I just got a picture of a long hallway on screen. I mean... So why don't you maybe explore that a little bit more, because so what are you saying about about the globe horizon and a horizon on a flat plane caused by perspective? Could you talk a little more about that?
Yeah, the horizon itself is pretty much the same explained on the flat and the globe, except for the part that we say that the horizon doesn't rise to eye level. But you have some pretty old formula for the explaining of something. So the horizon itself, to me, is not the point. That's not where I'm going. I'm going behind it.
Wow, that's an incredible. I'm gonna call it. I mean, I don't know where your stance has been prior, but for the globe consensus, for all you guys in general, that's an incredible, I'm going to call it a concession. I know you probably didn't mean it as one, but that's a fucking insane concession that I want everybody watching to understand.
I have heard explanations of the flat Earth horizon And even though I'm sure the Earth is not flat, that explanation, even though it doesn't make any sense, it can be explained somehow by the explanation I heard.
Holy shit,
But
man. Thank you for your
the
honesty.
horizon, yeah, sure, but the horizon does not rise to eye level.
Okay, so first I
That's the
have,
difference.
yeah, I would like to get into that because we kind of touched on that on Jose's show, but I would like to get into this real quick. So is
Yeah.
that just a coincidence? How do you explain such a shocking coincidence?
I don't remember that explanation, but there was the one guy I don't remember who told me it's half a year ago or something. But there was one explanation that got to me. It doesn't persuade me or made me think any different, but that explanation actually made tiny bit of sense with the horizon. Um,
Yeah,
but again, what's behind the horizon? That's it.
yeah, I know.
So you have a
I
whole
know,
way here.
I know you guys wanna, you guys wanna focus on what's, what you can't see. That's how the magic trick works. It's actually genius. The glow model is so genius. I mean, it's a genius deception, but it's genius. Whoever came. Well, actually, I think I know who came up with it. I think it was just the presupposition for 2,500 years. And so, literally, for 2,500 years, governments, educational systems, intellectuals, universities have all just been trying to, they've been slightly tweaking the globe model little by little amongst all these authority institutions. And it's basically one big ad hoc. It's a one big ad hoc model, in my view.
Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
who decided the shape of the Earth?
Well, Pythagoras is often credited as being the first to come up with it.
Who decided it? Who decided the shape of the Earth?
Well,
Not found out. Not found out. Not calculated. Who decided what shape the Earth should be?
what do you mean by decided?
The Earth is the shape it is, and someone decided it or someone changed it.
So
I don't know why you bring up old people and old NASA and everything, because
Well,
NASA did not decide the shape of the Earth and they didn't change it. The Earth is the shape the Earth has always been. It's either flat or sphere. So it doesn't matter who said what.
yeah. Well,
The Earth doesn't change.
no, I was just making a point about because I think you said something about like I don't remember what you said, but it felt right to respond about Pythagoras and who came up with it.
Yeah, I understand that, yeah.
I think okay, I remember I think the point I was trying to make was that I was saying genius deception. It's a genius deception, and I was just trying to basically give a sort of a rough theory on where the globe model came from. And well, according to mainstream history, it began. Well, at least Pythagoras is often given credit for having first conceived of the idea we live on a sphere. Obviously, he didn't have very good proof for it at the time. Aristotle is the one who's given credit by your mainstream history for having proved it with his 4 major proofs we live on a sphere. Technically, it's 3 because I can't find anywhere documentation of the 4th proof, which is ships disappearing bottom up. Though National Geographic, when they did their heat piece on Flat Earth a few months ago, they said Aristotle said he saw ships disappearing bottom up, even though I can't find any citation. I can find the other 3 quote proofs. I can't find the ships disappearing bottom up one from Aristotle, so that's a weird one. Some people actually say Some people actually say it was misattributed to Aristotle and that he did not come up with it. Okay,
This is what I'm talking.
I know I'm rambling. I just wanted to clarify real quick why I brought up Pythagoras. So that's what I mean by genius deception. It's a 2,500-year-old presupposition, first conceived by Pythagoras with no real proof, and then a couple hundred years later, Aristotle finally got the proofs, which are all garbage and don't even hold to scrutiny. And then because it's been a presupposition for so many years, and then you've had all the universities, all the governments, basically. I mean, the universities, governments, authorities, mainstream culture. We've just been believing we live on this thing for a very long time. And when you have millions of minds presupposing Pythagoras' sphere, you can come up with a pretty airtight ad hoc model that's bullshit, but it actually holds up pretty well. But there are holes that we can poke into the globe model, and the whole thing comes crashing down. That's why I brought that up, and I know I'm rambling, and I apologize.
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm going to, because it doesn't matter if it's a deception or what it is. The Earth's shape will never change. It's a matter of flat or sphere. That's a matter of simple geometry. So whatever NASA or anyone else says, this is something everyone can do by themselves and themselves.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And, and that's the problem. There is no proof of the sphere.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I beg you, please spare me of this curse and find me some good proof.
That can go both ways. What's the proof of the flat Earth?
Yeah, we can talk about that, even though the burden of proof is on the globe, because you guys
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it definitely is.
There is no burden of proof. There's a comparison of observations. That's it.
Look, you're in Norway right now, so let me see. Let me see. Where's Norway on this globe?
Northwestern Europe.
Okay, boom. Okay, this is fantastic. Here, you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm holding up a globe right now on screen. So,
I see it on YouTube. A bit delayed.
Here's Norway, and then I'm gonna have to try to pull it. Here's Miami. Oh fuck. Here. Oh Jesus Christ. Here's Miami. Oh fuck. Okay. So, let's just say I was in Australia. Sure. Let's say I was in Australia. So there's Australia, and then there's Norway. I'm trying really hard here. This is not going to work. Okay. Actually, okay, I got it. Okay. Boom. You see this, ladies and gentlemen? This is Norway up here. This is Australia. The reason the burden of proof is on you is because even though you and I are currently doing this hangout where I'm situated upright, and then you're also next to me on screen, and you're situated upright. Part of the reason the burden of proof is on you is because you're actually, if I was in Australia right now, I would actually be upside down. So if we were honest Globers, you or I, one of us, should flip our webcam upside down so that we were actually up. See, nobody acts like we live on a sphere. No, we all think we're just like this, and then I'm looking there, and then he's looking here. We don't think or act or feel like we live on a sphere, even though that's what the model says we does. So just on an experiential level, the burden of proof is absolutely on the globe, because you guys have the outrageous claim. You guys have the crazy claim, dude, that I'm currently upside down compared to you. And if we were honest Globers, we would flip the webcam upside down to really represent the world that we're defending. In fact, you should do it right now, Tommy. If you're going to come here and defend the globe model with me, you should turn your webcam upside down so we're oriented properly. But you still want to have a hangout with me as if the Earth is flat.
As I said, there's no burden of proof on anyone. We just compare our observations and see what we got.
That's fair, and I understand that you're not.
Either that or both have to prove something. It's fair. Not just on the globe.
That's fair, and I appreciate that, because you did say at the start that you don't believe in the burden of proof, because the consensus flat earthers have the burden of proof. You're not like many other Globers out there, including Fight the Flat Earth. So that's fine, and I appreciate that. Let's stick to the evidence. If I say it's flat, then I got to prove it, and if you say it's a sphere, you got to prove it. I appreciate that, but I had to make that side point because there are a lot of Globers who use appeal to consensus to establish.
Yeah, and there's a lot of flat earthers who say we have the burden of proof, and that's not how I work.
Well, I think with all the bullying from the globe side,
that's two ways, yeah.
Well, maybe, but you got to admit, one of us is the minority and the other is the majority, and the majority is the globe side. Flat earthers are a minority, and it's funny how hate and intolerance against a minority group is tolerated just because they say the Earth is flat. But anyways,
you said something about if I'm in Australia, we have up and down or something. If I can screen share again, I
will do that for you.
Wrong button.
Let me get you on screen, because we really got to talk about horizons.
Do you see my screen now?
You have to press the share button. I think you forgot again.
Damn.
It's all right.
That one. Yeah. So, this is not up and down. This is not how up and down works. This is north isn't up and south isn't down. That's not how it works. Down is not towards the south. This is how up works.
I didn't say down was to the south.
And this is how down. You said upside down.
Yeah, but I didn't say anything about south or north.
Yeah, but even if we're upside down, down is to the center of the center of the Earth.
Right, I know that
That's
you guys define down relatively to the center of Earth. I understand that.
Yeah.
Right.
So why would anyone sit upside down when the relative is, no matter what point, it's down? So
I'm talking about the orientation or the direction. I did this with Godless Engineer. I embarrassed him. It was really funny.
That's relative.
I know.
Orientation is
I know.
relative.
You guys have to pull out relativity so that there's no such thing as direction, so it doesn't sound absurd. I understand that. You guys say direction is relative.
Yeah.
So that the absurdity of living on a sphere doesn't sound that absurd. Okay. Look,
You see, any one of those lines is pointing towards the center, and none of them points the same way. That's relative.
is a person in Australia and a person in Europe, are they oriented the same direction?
No.
Of course not. That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying.
In relative to the ground, yes.
Right. And again, you guys like to pull out relativity, so there's suddenly no such thing as direction, so that it doesn't sound absurd. It's absurd, and our orientations are different, dude. Like, we are oriented differently in reality right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my point.
In about 45 or 30 degrees or something, yeah.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you and I had a hangout right now, and my webcam was up and your webcam was up, we're both oriented the same way, as if the Earth was flat, because that's what's practical, and that's how we experience the world. That's how it feels. That's how it makes sense. And the globe is literally absurd. The globe is insanity. That's why you don't flip your webcam 30 degrees to the side. That's why you're not slightly tilted, because it's absurd and you wouldn't do that. So I'm just saying, I think there should be like a plugin. I think that one of you globe defenders who are into programming, you guys should create a plugin where you can actually tilt the webcam in Google Hangouts 30, 40 degrees, depending on where you live on the sphere, so that you guys are all oriented properly. I think that would just be honest, since you guys make the unbelievable claim that we live on this fucking thing. But anyways, this is like a side point.
The claims are based on observations. That's why I claim it, because we observed the Earth to be a sphere.
Well, there's no proof we live on a sphere, so I guess we should get into horizons now.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think about that? Is that just a coincidence that the rate at which a horizon will form on a flat Earth, simply due to perspective, closely matches the rate at which the Earth curves and creates a physical leading edge horizon on the sphere? What do you think about that? Is that just a coincidence? Why is that?
I think that's because the one who came up with that explanation used the actual distance to the horizon to calculate it. They went from the other side. It went to the horizon and measured back to what do you call it, backtracking science, or what do you call it, to get the actual number, and then made the assumption.
Yeah, I think they call it not ad hoc, but it could be ad hoc. Reverse engineer.
Yeah, sure, that's one.
Right. Well, no, because Rumpus admitted this. Rumpus told me that this isn't reverse engineered. They just match. It's just a 6 foot tall person with the average angular resolution limit of the human eye. The angular resolution limit where the apparent horizon forms due to the physical structure of the human eye is about, I think it's like Rumpus said it was 3 or 4 miles. On a sphere Earth with the circumference of to, whatever the fuck the radius is, 24,000, or sorry, the circumference, 24,901. If a 6 foot tall person is standing on the ocean, the horizon is about 3 miles away. They're like a dead match. So I'm just
that's
asking.
why I said the explanation of the horizon on the flat and the globe is somewhat the same. That's what I said earlier.
I'm sorry, say that one more time. Apologies.
Yeah, you want on the record. That's why I said earlier, the explanation of the horizon on the flat Earth and the globe Earth is about the same. That's what I said.
I know. Yeah. I know. So my question is, what do you think about that coincidence?
Then again, that was the one who came up with the flat Earth horizon did some backtracking, or
No. This is it. This is what it is. It's not somebody made it up. The convergence zone of the human eye is around 3 miles away from you.
Yeah, but that is if you have something that is it 6 foot high or something? If you have something bigger, what happens then?
Well, you mean increase your elevation?
No, the size of the object you're looking at.
Well, the size, you mean the distant object on the horizon that you're looking at?
Yeah.
That's not relevant to how far away the human eye creates a horizon.
No, but it's English stuff again.
It's all right. Take your time. It's all right.
Angular resolution limit.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, I got it up on screen right now for everybody to see. From the incredible intellectual called Life is Short. I'm sure you've heard of him. The stunning intellectual. Have you heard of Life is Short?
Nope.
He's not the guy from 2 years ago who came up with the angular resolution limit horizon, but this is it right here. Let me just rewind a little bit. Let me see where yeah, there it is. So, okay, for everybody who's watching, I'm just going to read this here real quick. 2 options for the phenomenon or the thing known as a horizon. Option 1, the ground is brought to your eye level. The person disappears from perspective by walking straight away and vanishing bottom first from things getting smaller with distance and an angular resolution limit. This is how a horizon works on a flat Earth. Then you have option 2. The eye is brought to ground level. The vanishing person is represented orthographically without regard to perspective, and your focus continually shifts downward to observe them going over a curved surface and vanishing at the same rate as the angular resolution limit of the human eye. After reviewing the above options, we will see how the optical angular resolution limit of the human eye was replaced by the physical curvature of the Earth. We will then use the angular resolution limit to calculate a sphere with a radius of 3,959 miles to 3,978 miles. So he actually used the angular resolution limit of the human eye to calculate the radius of the Earth that just happens to match the sphere. So it's not that somebody reverse engineered the eye to make up some math that matches the globe. It's that the human eye matches the sphere, which is weird.
There's a big problem there. That doesn't match the hallway you had earlier, because the hallway is going straight forward. Nothing is going down or up because of perspective. It's going into a vanishing point, not one of those 2 pictures you have there goes like that hallway.
Well, I don't know about the pictures. I was just reading the description.
Yeah.
I don't really know about the pictures, but the point is that the angular resolution limit of the human eye has a horizon that matches the distance to the horizon on a sphere.
None of those make nothing. None of those make anything go down. They make it go into a vanishing point.
Okay, so now you're moving the globe post and saying things can't disappear bottom up on a flat Earth, correct?
Now I say that things doesn't move down because of perspective. It moves into a vanishing point, not down.
Okay, fantastic. So I will present another piece of evidence for you. Diffraction limit example. Okay, so here we have a video. Can you see this?
Pretty soon, there's a bit lag.
Okay, well I can share it on Hangouts. I mean, might as well share it on Hangouts so you're up to date. Share screen. Actually, let me stop because, okay, no, it won't. It's all, okay, it's just making sure with the stupid Hangout link. Okay, share. Okay, all right. Okay, you should be able to see mine. Okay. God, I hope it didn't cut it out. No, it didn't. Okay. All right, so here we have a video. Somebody decided to go, because, you know, you've heard a lot of flat earthers saying that they put like a book on the floor and then they step far away.
Yeah.
And they get the camera low to the floor and it looks like the book disappears from the bottom, right? You've seen those?
Yeah.
And then a lot of Globers were saying, nope, the floor is uneven. Correct? You've seen those?
Yeah, I don't know who it is, but the book was in another room behind the door, yeah. And
right.
the doorpost.
Right, and then there were a million other versions done. Jose G. Gonzalez did a few of his own at a Walmart or some freaking store. People have done it in many different places getting similar results.
Yeah.
That things are disappearing bottom up on a flat surface. Then what the Glober started saying was that, sorry, hospitals don't have flat floors. Sorry, Walmart doesn't have flat floors. Construction crews are basically incompetent. Now, I understand that they're going to be small undulations. Fine. This video, the guy went out to test that. So instead of having just one camera, by the way, you've seen this video. I mean, you've heard me talk about this, right?
I don't remember, but
okay.
Shoot.
All right. So this guy decided to put to rest the Glober's claims that the floor is uneven. So, have a second here. So basically what he did was he went to a long hallway and, just give me half a second. He went to a long hallway and he put the camera, he got two cameras. One of them was a Canon EOS 70D with a very big lens, big aperture. And then he got a second camera, his iPhone camera, with a tiny little lens and a tiny little aperture.
Mm-hmm.
Big camera, big aperture, small camera, smaller aperture. He put the two cameras right next to each other on the floor at the same height. So the center of the lenses of the two camera center lens were at the same height. And what he saw was that, and then he put a flashlight on the floor about 400 feet away at the other end of the hallway, the opposite side of where the cameras were on the floor. So he puts his flashlight down on the floor. So you have these two cameras looking down a long hallway with a little flashlight on the floor. The camera with the bigger aperture, the big ass lens, the Canon EOS 70D, well, you can see the flashlight in the camera. So here it is, and you can see a little pinprick of light. There's the flashlight on the floor. Now he's using his iPhone. He's going to place it on the stack of papers, elevated to the same center of height as the camera next to it. He puts the little iPhone with the little aperture down on the floor, and when you zoom in, the flashlight is no longer visible. Now, here's the crazy part. Watch. Camera then lifted off the paper. So now he lifts the iPhone up a little bit, and watch what happens. Lifts it up a few inches. There's the flashlight. So things do disappear bottom up due to the diffraction limit of the instrument you are using, be it the human eye or cameras. And as far as I'm concerned, it's been slam dunk conclusively proven.
So this is enough for you, really?
Well, it's not. I mean, yeah. I mean, can we do more elaborate ones? Yeah, but you know, you guys had to move the globe post over and over and over again. First, you said the floor was uneven, so then we got two cameras, and then it's there's fucking fog or whatever. So this is to me way more proof that things really are disappearing bottom up than the wild speculative claim that an uneven floor is what was blocking the light. This takes a shit all over that globe post moving, in my opinion.
Yeah. You said you have never seen any boats disappearing bottom first.
I'm sorry, were you asking if I've ever seen boats disappearing bottom first?
You said something about that just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, that's what Aristotle said happens,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Can you see my screen again?
Give me half a second. I gotta open up one more tab. Make west curve calculator. Just want to get this up real quick, and I'll share your screen. Curve. Okay, we're gonna move that over here. I mean, the globe is done, dude. Like, there's no. Okay. All right, you are now sharing. Okay, you're good. Yes.
Yeah.
Go for it.
This ship is 224 meters long. In feet, I don't know. It's big. And you can see people standing on the back of it.
Wonderful.
And as this is going further and further away, this is what you see.
Okay, so that corroborates the video I just showed you. Thank you.
Do you compare that one to a flashlight when the rest of the boat is behind there?
No, you do understand that the principle at work is the same, right? Thank you for confirming that. Appreciate it.
No, I just asked you if you compare that one to a flashlight.
Well, no, we're talking about the principle at work of things disappearing bottom up due to the type of viewing instrument you have. Yeah. Thank you for confirming that. Really appreciate it.
No.
You do understand what I just showed everybody here who's watching? That I just showed you how things disappear bottom up, not because of earth curve, not because of a bumpy floor, but because of the type of viewing instrument. We're talking about angular resolution limits of the human eye or the camera that you're using. That's what I just demonstrated here. So things disappearing bottom up, whether it's in a hallway with a flashlight or with a ship on the alleged on the alleged sphere, whatever you're showing, it clearly doesn't necessarily have to be because of earth curvature.
Where is the rest of that boat?
It's hidden. Well, okay, let's take a look. Let's take a closer look.
Is it hidden? Is it hidden in this tiny little stream of distortion here?
Well, zoom in again, please, because I just want to make sure there's not an inferior mirage. Just got to make sure.
There is a bit of distortion right here.
A bit of distortion. Sometimes inferior mirages do things, but I would say that the primary thing that's causing obstruction there is what I just demonstrated to you a second ago, which is things disappearing bottom up in a hallway due to the optical instrument you are using. I mean, do you deny that the flashlight disappeared from the bottom here in this footage I just showed you? Are you denying this experiment? Did you go out and perform this yourself to see if you got different results?
I actually have something of the same,
Sure.
But not on a flat ground like that.
What do you
I have
do with
a flashlight standing on a tripod that disappears.
I mean, if it's relevant, show it. But if it's not relevant, then who cares?
Yeah, just gonna flick through some picture. I have a bunch of pictures.
So real quick, I mean, it's okay if you don't, maybe you don't trust the person who did this, or you think there's another explanation. Do you accept or deny the hypothesis that it wouldn't surprise me if it might even qualify as a legit scientific experiment with proper, independent variables. It wouldn't surprise me, but I'm not sure on that. But I mean, do you accept or deny that it disappeared from the bottom? Not because of the floor, but because of the type of camera that was being used.
To be honest, I'm not sure, because we didn't see how it was during the lifting of the camera. So if you see half the light during the lifting, I don't know. But it was, I admit, it was gone when it was on the floor. Sure.
Okay, right. And then like literally 3 seconds later, when he lifted it up a few inches, it's back. So yeah, I think it's safe to say it was disappearing. It's missing in one camera and not the other. I mean, to me, that's pretty fucking obvious that it's not a physical obstruction. It's because of the viewing instrument you're using.
Yeah, but again, exactly what happens there, I'm not sure, but it.
You better find an explanation other than earth curve. No, you guys better find something quick, because this is devastating, man. This here. I'm sorry, you were going to present something. Go ahead, man.
Do you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a tripod across a football field, and on top of that tripod I have a small flashlight, and I'm moving further away and further away. and that flashlight is getting smaller and smaller, so you don't see it anymore.
Yeah, this is just not the same, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm getting to the point.
Okay.
Now I'm 2 football fields away, and you don't see that tripod or flashlight at all.
Yeah, you're trying to suggest that it disappears uniformly instead of from the bottom up?
No. So now it's all gone. You don't see it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have turned it on. Now you see it pretty good. And even from far away.
Wait, it wasn't on before?
No. Now it's on. Now you see the point of light.
Okay.
So you see light in a further distance, yes. I understand the light was on the floor. But exactly what happened there? Sure, I can say honestly, I don't know what happened because I wasn't there.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened. It's because the horizons, like you already conceded, exist on a flat Earth due to perspective, and they exist on your sphere due to Earth curvature. And what you just saw there was a actual real-world demonstration of the horizon, or what designers like to call, artists and designers like to call the vanishing line or vanishing point. Guess what? Causing things to vanish. That's what that was, dude. That's what that was. It was, I mean, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't get any more slam dunk clear than that. You guys would say it's the floor is uneven, construction crews don't know what the fuck they're doing. So this guy went out and tested it. 2 cameras. You want to see, is it really disappearing because of the angular resolution limit of your viewing instrument? So he got a camera with a big ass aperture and a big ass lens, and he got a little iPhone with a tiny little aperture and a tiny little lens. It's visible in one, but it's not visible in the other right next to it.
The other difference is when do you see my screen? Do you see my camera or me?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. The difference is when you have that big ass lens, you also are about an inch or something above the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And that small lens, you are close to the floor. So what happens there is nothing with aperture, because the aperture is something you set inside there. So you just physically are lifted higher up than that one. That lens is higher above the floor, and this one.
Wait. You mean that the center of the lenses are higher than the other?
Yeah.
He did. Okay, you missed what I told you. So, see, here's the problem. Life is Short is very smart. He's smarter than most Globetards I've ever met. And he actually literally accounted for that in his video. I'll show you. He put a stack of paper next to the Canon EOS 70D, measured right here so that the center of this stack of paper, well, not exactly the center because the iPhone camera has body around it. The point is, when he put the iPhone camera down, he didn't put it on the floor. He put it on a stack of paper so that the center of lens of the iPhone camera was at the same height as the center of lens for the Canon EOS 70D. So there goes that.
So he's 2.5 inches off the floor.
He's whatever the height of the Canon EOS 70D is.
Yeah, and that show about 2.5 inches. No, 1 inch. Yeah, 1 inch is centimeters.
It's all right here.
Yeah.
It's all right here, my friend. So no, that one. Sorry, that doesn't apply there, sir. The center of lenses for both cameras were at the same height.
So with having the camera 1 inch above the floor, he couldn't see the light on the other side.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
With having the camera 1 inch above the floor, he couldn't see the light on the other side.
Having which camera? He had 2 cameras.
Yeah, both of them. If it was if he stacked the iPhone on top of papers, then the center of lens is 1 inch above the floor on both of them.
He had the center of lens for both cameras at the same height for the first phase, and then once he established that you can only see the flashlight in the Canon EOS 70D with the bigger lens, bigger aperture, but you couldn't see it in the iPhone, then he lifted the iPhone higher and the light reappeared, taking a giant shit on all claims that the reason these flashlights keep disappearing, and all the videos that people are doing, from Jose G. Gonzalez to all these other people who are doing these little things in long hallways and in supermarkets, taking a giant shit on the claim that it's because of a physical obstruction of the surface of the ground. Which takes
there was
shit.
Also this guy who did it on a track, running track, 110 meters. And he had the egg and something else there to show as Simon Dan and Conspiracy Cats. And when he had the camera down on the floor, neither of them disappeared. It was
I'm sorry.
intact.
Did he use two cameras to confirm?
He had a video camera of some sort.
Okay, so he didn't have two cameras, which in my opinion is a very smart way to test whether or not it's physical obstruction causing things to disappear. So
this was a flat earther. I think it was either what's his name? He has been in clinch with both Conspiracy Cats and Simon Dan for a long time.
What's his name? What's his name? Because there's a lot of dumb fucking trolls pretending to be flat earthers. No, I'm serious. There's a lot of trolls pretending to be flat earthers. So I mean, do you remember his name?
As you said, there's many of them, so I don't remember exactly.
And what did he say? He said that nothing disappeared.
He was going on a track with the egg and something else, and put it on one end of the track, and then went 110 meters back and lowered the camera to the floor, and both the egg and the other thing was both were intact. You can even see the ground they're standing on.
Well, that depends on what kind of camera you use. This is the point. It depends on the size of the aperture.
No.
Because you can still see the flashlight in the Canon EOS 70D the whole time.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
So what kind of camera was he using?
Some kind of video camera.
No, but do you know like some of the specifics? Maybe so we can determine like the aperture, the size of the aperture. That's essential to what is causing the angular
just
resolution
something
limit.
Like
that's essential to what's causing the angular resolution limit. So that would help because if your camera is big enough, I
would say it's a lot smaller than this one. It's a lot smaller than this, less than an inch or two or something. It's just a small one.
So you're just going to guess what he used?
I'm going to see if I can find.
Yeah, I mean that would be interesting. Either way, I mean, so they're intact. Well, again, we need to know. Number one, we need to know the aperture size because. And first of all, let me just say for everybody who's watching, isn't it funny that we're talking about things being obstructed from the bottom for a million reasons other than a fucking curve rising up and blocking you? Because this is what it's come to, guys. It's come to this, that there's always an alternative explanation. And as this viewer, as this YouTuber right here, I'm going to put the link in the chat, has incredibly demonstrated, watch this video. Things are disappearing from the bottom up, not because of a physical obstruction of Earth curve, but because of the optics of what you're viewing the world with, be it your eyeball or a camera. And
it may have been Russian bits.
That to me is the death of the globe right there. I mean, that's been one of the most damning things. Once I found out that you can have a horizon on a flat Earth caused by perspective, that matches the distance to the horizon given the size of the globe they tell us we live on, that was like, obviously any smart person would have serious doubts about the globe. A smart person, though. You'd have to be smart. Sorry.
I think it was Russian vids who had that video.
Okay.
I think it was Russian vids. I'm not sure, but I think it was Russian vids.
Okay, so, I mean, can you present it here or something?
Again, I'm not sure if it was him. I'm looking for it, but if it was him, it's either on Simon Dance or.
All right. Well, if you can't find your evidence, that's fine. We'll talk about something else. So there you go. Like you conceded earlier that on a flat Earth, the horizon due to perspective, you can have a horizon due to perspective.
In some way, yes.
Right. And,
except from it, the horizon does not rise to eye level.
Right, and then you moved the goalpost and said, no, who cares about horizons? It's about what's disappearing bottom up. And I just showed
behind the horizon.
And I just showed you how things disappear bottom up, not due to Earth curve, not due to physical obstruction, but because of the angular resolution limit of the viewing instrument. I just showed that to you. So there you go. It's over for the globe, and I think you know it at this point, Tommy. It's okay. Relinquish your atheism, Tommy. It's okay.
Nope.
Put your atheism down, Tommy. It's over, man.
What does atheism have to do with the shape of the Earth?
Well, I know you're an atheist, man, and I mean, I
Yeah,
think
but what difference does
it's
that
funny.
make?
I actually had no confirmation he was an atheist, but I knew he was an atheist.
Yeah, but what
Well,
difference?
because man, if you don't think there's any possibility that we live in a created, intelligently designed reality, you will never accept flat Earth as an atheist. You can't. It goes against your presuppositions about how the world works, bro.
Why couldn't the world be created as a globe?
Oh, Tommy, I'm gonna destroy you now. I'm sorry. Okay.
That was a simple question. I just
No,
want to
no,
know.
no.
Please just,
I'm gonna
yeah,
destroy you right now. Thank you for saying that. The
just
qu-
ask because I want to know why it can't be. Why couldn't be
the question
created as a
isn't the
globe?
question isn't what. Oh, I'm gonna destroy you right now. I'm sorry. The question isn't what can God do or not do. The question is what can physicalist atheists like you accept and not accept. You can accept a spinning space ball speck of dust in a vast universe in your godless view of the world. You can't accept a flat geocentric Earth. We, on the intelligently designed side, we can say that God created a sphere with a vast universe, and we can also say he created a flat Earth with a geocentric. It's not about what God can and can't do, whether he can create a globe or whether he can create a flat Earth. It's about what you physicalist atheists can and can't accept. And you guys can't possibly live. Your whole view of the world can't stand in a flat geocentric reality, bro. You can't. You'll never accept that.
You said he could create both.
Sorry?
You said that, right? He could create both.
Of course. Duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
So why does every single observation point to a globe Earth?
But it doesn't.
Every single observation I do, I can just point at Polaris and say
Sorry.
60 degrees.
Sorry, I already debunked Polaris.
Yeah,
Your
but
bullshit. I
thing
debunked
is-
Polaris. You conceded
Yeah.
horizons exist on a flat Earth due to perspective. I showed you how things disappear bottom up due to the viewing instrument. It's all over, dude.
No. If you take one observation of the flat Earth, and one observation of the flat Earth, and one observation of the flat Earth, those three observations do not match anything.
Well, the sphere gets pretty close to matching the flat Earth reality. But yes, it does fall apart at the seams. It's a very, like I said, it's a genius deception, an ad hoc model that was put together by millions of minds over millions, not millions of generations, thousands of generations for 2,500 years, because we've been presupposing we live on this stupid spinning space ball for 2,500 years because some Stone Age man said so. So yes, it's a pretty good. It's a pretty airtight model, but once you poke at it, it falls apart and self-destructs. Kind of like the sun and the moon appearing to be the same size. That obliterates your model because in your heliocentric physicalist model, everything came out of the Big Bang for no reason. So why the fuck would the sun and moon appear to be the same size? What an incredible coincidence. That's retarded on your model. It doesn't work.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I have one for you right
No,
now.
I understand that the mechanics of what you say the sun and moon are, I understand that can match a lot of the globe observations. I'm just saying, what are the odds that they would be the same size in a random, not the same size, but appear to be the same size in a random universe?
As of now, it is, but 50,000 years ago and 50,000 years from now, it moves away.
Right, appeal to the unfalsifiable distant past nobody was there to see. Thank you, I understand.
No, but that's because we can measure it.
Yeah,
with laser.
Yeah, sure. No,
so you're denying that.
No. The thing is that's what you have to do. You have to say, oh, but 70,000 million years ago, the sun and moon weren't the same apparent size. It was really close. So guess what? There's no coincidence. It's not weird that the sun and the moon appear to be the same size because 80 million years ago, when dinosaurs walked the earth, look, I understand you mainstream science guys. I understand you guys think there's proof, but there is no proof for all that shit. It's pure speculation.
This is exactly what I said in the beginning. Let's stay to the topic. Dinosaurs has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth.
That was just a general little side word.
Yeah, we can measure the distance to the moon. That's it, with laser.
Yeah. Are you talking about the moon bounce?
The reflectors that's placed on the moon by people who were there.
Yeah, I don't. I obviously do not buy that low quality evidence.
But it's done. It's doing. The schools across the USA is doing it all the time.
Look, if you want to appeal to what NASA put on the moon, you can use that as evidence. Again, it's low quality evidence because I can't repeat or verify it for myself. Like I can repeat and verify a long distance observation here on Earth. If you want to appeal to low quality evidence high up in the sky, you can do that, but it's kind of low quality evidence.
So what's your high quality evidence?
Well, at least something we can repeat and verify for ourselves. I mean, that's science 101. We can start there.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree with you. Things we can do for ourselves and repeat it.
Yeah, like long distance observations and great stuff like that, like stuff that Aristotle allegedly did, even though there's no
long distance observations. That's looking at Polaris and the sun and things behind the horizon.
Right, which again you presuppose the distance to, and then said the distance doesn't matter, even though Neil deGrasse Tyson says the distance absolutely matters. So you kind of you embarrassed yourself there, dude. Like I mean, you didn't concede, and you kept deflecting. So it's on the record, but.
No, but if you talk about long distance observations and then talk about perspective and reflection and reflection and everything, then you can't use those observations because they are useless.
You're talking about like when there's refraction and stuff when you're looking out into the distance.
That was what you said about Polaris. We have the light from Polaris is bent because of perspective and everything. So if you want to use long distance observations, that's exactly the same. You can't trust anything.
Yeah, and that's a crisis for both models. But it's definitely a crisis for the globe because you guys are supposed to have all the evidence and the proof for 2,000 years. So I'm willing to accept uncertainty. You guys can't because you said you proved it 2,000 years ago and put it in the textbooks and put it on the TV shows and put it in the NASA.
Then you're back to the big deception again. So why does that matter at all what NASA says when either one of us can go out and do this for ourselves?
But no, that's not my point. My point is uncertainty is uncertainty, but it's true for both models because if refraction is bending the light from Polaris, then that takes a shit on your model too. So
what if it doesn't?
Well, according to what you just said, if refraction is bending the light, then
that was a question to you.
Okay, yeah, but that would be true on both models. So I don't see what your point is.
That one you have up on the screen now, as a long hallway. That's not how it works. Perspective doesn't make anything go down below. Could I bring up my picture again with
I'm sorry,
winter
perspective. But wait, if perspective doesn't, then why did it just happen in the video?
Again, to be sure, to be honest, what happened right there, I'm not quite sure.
Okay, that's fair, and I understand that maybe it's the first time you've seen it, and that's great, that's fine. I mean, I hope you take a look at it, and maybe you can get back to me with some type of alternative explanation. I have yet to find a single glober provide a good, non-moving the globe post rebuttal for this, because this was specifically designed. This test was specifically designed to make sure that it's not physical uneven floor blocking the flashlight. So yeah, I mean, hey, take a look at it maybe when you get a chance, and maybe you can come back to, because I want a good rebuttal, and I haven't found one yet. So maybe you can come up with something. That'd be great, man.
If I were there when he did it, maybe I could understand. But
hey, you know what? You have a lot of tools and stuff, and you have cameras. Go do it yourself. That I would be so excited if you did it yourself, bro. I've been wanting to do it myself. I just can't find a place where there's not a bunch of people and a really long hallway. But I want to do it myself because it's so insane. This shit is so, for me, it's so destructive to the globe model that I wanted to do it to be sure for myself. But I hope you go do it. That would be amazing. Go do it, man. And I will mirror it to my channel. I'll do anything because I want to see more people do this shit. And you've done a lot of these little camera experiments, so I think it would be awesome if you did it. You know, maybe you'll find the reason. Maybe it isn't. You know,
I have that small flashlight. Of course, I have the small flashlight I had in the picture. That's pretty small, yeah, but I don't have a hallway long enough.
Well, maybe you can find a public building or something. You know?
Yeah, sure.
That would be fucking great.
But why do this in a small scale? We can go outside and do it real, like I did with my picture here. which you
Yeah,
have seen before.
you can if you want to go outside and prove that things disappear bottom up due to the optics of your visual instrument and not Earth curve. Yeah, go prove it. I would love that.
Yeah, you've seen this picture before. You laughed at it quite hard, I remember.
Yes, I
This
did.
again deals with the perspective on how stuff can go from above eye level to below eye level. That's perspective.
Um, right, you're suggesting that it's below eye level,
Yeah,
and that's
because I
because we live
measured
on
eye
a
level.
sphere. Well, what I want you, yeah, this is what I want. I want to dig into this more. So, if
Yeah,
could you zoom out a little bit?
this is zoomed out. This is 24
Well,
or 70 millimeter.
just a second
This is
before. It,
400 millimeter.
it looked like it was for some reason on my screen. It looked less zoomed out. Um, okay, I guess make sure you just zoomed out. I want to see every edge of the frame.
This is it.
Okay, so my question is, if you're using the water level in the tubes to establish what eye level is, and they match, then why is the water on the left side of the tripod bent and down compared to the water on the right side? What did you mess up here?
This is my setup. So I have two tripods, and I used both of them to the water. And with holding a big ass lens with my hand, I couldn't hold it exactly level. But that doesn't matter.
Wait. Not holding it exactly level doesn't matter when you're trying to determine where eye level is. You have to be
Nope.
joking, Tommy. You have to be kidding me.
I can do this again, like we did last time. Sure. You saw this and laughed at it. There my camera is level, and the water level is level. Like that one, shooting over, and that's the photo.
Mm-hmm.
If I do this, it's still eye level, down at the bottom of my screen. If I do this, it's still eye level.
Well,
at the top of my
that's
screen.
not what I mean by eye level. By eye level,
So it doesn't.
by eye what I mean by eye level is center of the field of view.
No, it isn't.
I'm just saying that's what I mean by eye level. If you have a different
Yeah.
definition, that's fine.
Eye level is like this one at the top of my screen. It's not center view. When the camera
What
is
do you
pointing
mean?
downwards.
What do you mean eye level? Like, so,
The eye level is at the black line here. That's the eye level.
all right. Well,
black
then,
line.
then maybe if you don't like the word eye level the way I use it, then maybe we need a different word to describe the center of the field of view. Because that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the center of field of view is down here. That's not eye level. Eye level is on top of the frame here.
Okay, so let's
Because
go
I'm
back.
pointing the
let's-
camera downwards.
Okay, all right. So let's go back to the picture you brought up a moment ago.
Yeah.
So please walk the viewers through what this picture demonstrates or proves.
Let's go back to the first one. This is my setup. It's about 4 or 5 feet between the tripods. And using the water level, I'm shooting across it. And that's the eye level here, just about on the white line on the lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
And that white line is here when I zoom in at 400 millimeters. And those wind turbines are 1,000 feet high.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at 70 feet high. And perspective does not allow objects to go from above eye level to below eye level.
Okay, so can you go back to the first picture?
Setup?
Sorry, no, the next one.
Yeah.
So, again, eye level. On the flat Earth model, the horizon, ignoring atmospheric conditions, would be at the viewer's eye level. Do you agree with that sort of flat earther argument?
No, that was the point I was not agreeing on.
Well, no, I understand that you're saying on the globe it's below eye level.
Yeah, I said that the explanation of the flat Earth horizon was somewhat okay, except from the horizon does not rise to eye level. The distance
Right,
to the horizon.
I understand that's your point.
Yeah, the distance to the horizon was somewhat okay. Distance, not the rise.
I understand that was your point, but my point. By the way, what is the height of that little lighthouse over there? Like at the point where the black line crosses it, what's the height of that?
That's
Is that
somewhere around 22 meters or 70 feet, which is my eye level.
is that part of your test, or we
No,
just that wasn't part of
I
it?
have the height. I have the height of the lighthouse. It's about 47 meters. That's
Are,
the height of the light.
but
That matches.
my question is,
Yeah.
are you trying to say that the black line on the picture, um, it, what's your elevation above sea level in this picture?
70 feet.
Okay. And do you know the elevation of the lighthouse at the exact point where the black line crosses the screen?
No, because that's not measured. That's an observation.
So that wasn't the point of this, correct?
That's just so I have something to aim at when I do this.
So
The line is in the same place here.
Where is this second picture from?
Is it taken at the exact same spot? I'm standing in the same place.
You're standing in the same exact spot in those pictures.
Maybe 1 or 2 meters to the right, yeah, but just about, yeah.
So your elevation didn't really change. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm standing on patio. Yeah, some flooring.
Okay, that's okay. Good. Just I want to make sure I get all the details.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the problem. Okay, so again, when you set the camera to quote eye level, if you could put the picture back on screen.
Yeah, I'm just gonna show where it was.
Okay. Yeah, because this is yeah, I'm pretty sure that this picture of yours is it doesn't prove shit. Unfortunately, that's what I think, anyways.
Zooming in here is boring. Zooming. There, I'm standing on that patio.
Okay. No, that's fine. Look, I'll take what you're saying. I'll take it at face value. The reason I'm asking these questions is not because I doubt that you're being honest.
Yeah, sure. Great.
I just need to get to the bottom of what you're saying.
Yeah, I understand.
So, can you zoom out? Because it seems like you keep zooming in on this picture.
No, this is what it is. I can't zoom out more. This is what it is.
Anyways, okay. So okay. So a moment ago, you showed me another picture where you tilted the camera down and you tilted the camera up, and you're saying, see, this is why this is, and you have to be, again, you either are dumb. No offense, but you're either lying or you have to be like stupid or something, or maybe you just overlooked it or something. I don't know, but okay. So the reason you bring this picture up is because you're saying it debunks the flat Earth.
Pretty much, yeah.
And the reason you're saying it debunks flat Earth is because the horizon is below eye level. Is that correct?
No, what is behind the horizon, as I said before. I don't care about the horizon. I see what's behind the horizon. That's the difference.
Wait, what? Don't you agree though that on a sphere the horizon drops, but on the flat Earth, the flat Earth version of the perspective horizon is at eye level?
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. The explanation of the flat Earth horizon is just about the same as the globe, except from the horizon rising. Except from the horizon rising.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So what you're saying is that this picture doesn't match the flat Earth prediction, which is that the horizon is at eye level, because that's how perspective works for the flat Earth model. The horizon is not at eye level in your picture. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now stop for 1 second. Sorry, I know I gotta get this clear. So can you please go back to the other picture where you were tilting the camera up and down, please?
Yeah.
Please, very much, please. Okay, and could you show me the picture where it actually, from the camera's point of view? Okay.
Sorry, that one.
Okay, either one of them. Okay, so here's a problem that I don't understand why I don't even get what you're like. I don't understand what the hell you're trying to, like, again, it's either dishonesty or just, ignorance. But if for the flat Earth model, the horizon is at the center of frame of your eye level, then why are you trying to say that the horizon can be at the top of the field of view?
If the horizon is at the center of frame.
Yes, because for flat earthers, they always say The horizon rises to
I
eye
understand.
level, and perspective is going to create a horizon at the center of your field of view. Right.
That's because of the size. Look, I have it here. From 747 in cruising altitude of 35,000 feet, the angle towards the horizon is less than 3 degrees. That's what it appears to be at eye level.
Yeah, well, I don't.
This is a one. This is a one-to-one scale.
I have something to present that contradicts that, but go ahead.
Yeah, this is a one-to-one scale. This is Mount Everest at 8,848 meters. So the I'm going to zoom in. It's a bit big, so it's different to zoom in. Here, damn, yeah. The angle towards the horizon is just 3 degrees at cruising altitude. So of course it looks like it's central frame because your eyes are drawn to the horizon.
That's not my point, dude. Go back to the picture with the camera tilted up and down.
Yeah, I just hit the wrong button there.
Yeah.
There's nothing to look at 3 degrees above horizon. So of course our eyes are drawn to the horizon because there's something to look at there.
Hang on.
Point of interest.
Please go back to the tilted camera.
Okay, that one.
Yes. What is the point of doing this?
Because you always say that eye level has to be center frame.
Oh my god! Oh god! I'm sorry. Oh my god. Okay. Hang on, let me just spam a link here in the super chat real quick. Oh my god, in the thing. Oh my god. All right, just a second. Oh my god. Okay, man.
That's to explain why this line doesn't need to be straight.
Okay, man. So, oh god. All right. Okay, so your your definition of eye level is.
Yeah, do you have another one?
Well, look, it's fine. If we have different names and we're kind of talking about different things, then we have to be clear on what we're talking about. When I say eye level, I'm talking about the center of frame in your field of view. Clearly, that yellow line is not the center of frame in the field of view, right?
Right, but it's still eye level.
If you want to take a ruler out, wait.
Do you see where the line hits here below the windows on that building? It does the exact same thing here.
That's fine, and even if
it does the exact same thing here.
And that's fine, and even if I concede your point, there's still an issue because perspective's horizon, the vanishing line of compression, is at the center of field of view. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
Like if I pull out a picture of a hallway here, just give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah, you can use my picture. I understand. The center of frame is down here at the clamp.
All right, let me just explain.
This is the vanishing point.
Okay. All right. Let me just explain real quick for viewers. Guys, perspective, like what's happening when you look down this long hallway. The vanishing line, the point where the floor and the ceiling appear to meet, is at the center of your field of view. That's the way it works. That's the way it is. It's how your eyes work. It's how cameras work. That's just the way it is. So it's at the center. Now, I would call that eye level. That's what I mean by eye level. I'm talking about the center of the frame of the field of view. That's what I'm talking about.
The vanishing point. We agree on that one.
Right, but I think you're trying to do something else here with this picture. If you could present again, please.
Yeah.
Because you're saying that it doesn't matter if you tilt the camera up or down. So I'm assuming that in your picture, oh geez, I can't believe this. Could you go back to the picture of the ocean?
I know center of frame is here, so this is the vanishing point in this picture. Yeah, we agree on that one. Here is the vanishing point on that picture.
All right, so if you could please go back to the picture from the wall. Okay, yes. So my question for you is this: was your camera that you were holding, you admitted in your hand, was it perfectly perpendicular to, was it level? Was the camera, its angle, where the camera was tilted, was it perfectly perpendicular? Was it, if you put a fucking bubble level, a spirit level on top of the camera, would the camera read level?
Front to back, yes.
Front to back, it was level. So you said that you were holding it with your hand and you had it tilted sideways, and that's why the left side of the water appears lower than the right side. But you know that it was level from front to back.
Yeah, because the water level show it.
Oh, Jesus, no, man.
Yeah, I'm going to show my screen again.
Nope. This is a parlor trick, ladies and gentlemen. They've been doing it for 2,500 years.
You see my camera here?
Yep.
You see straight in the camera, yeah.
I
point it,
straight?
if I tilt it that way.
Definitely not straight, man.
No, I'm pointing at the camera. I mean, if I'm straight, you just don't see it. I'm just pointing at the camera to see. If it's tilted a bit that way or that way, it doesn't matter. I'm still holding it straight or forward.
Well, you
towards
said,
the camera.
Right. That's why I asked, is it front to back level? So if you put a spirit level on it, it's perfectly perpendicular to the center of the sphere Earth, correct? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, because the water level shows it.
So how did you manage to get something so precise holding it by your hand? Oh, because you gauge it by the stupid tubes here on screen.
No, because I took a hell of a lot of pictures and took the one that matched best.
Okay, so here's the thing. When you showed me the pictures with the camera tilted, you said that even if the camera's tilted up or down, that is still eye level, correct?
Yeah, the yellow line is eye level.
Right, but you're comparing it to a flat Earth possibility, which is center of field of view. You have literally debunked yourself by claiming by claiming that you can tilt it up and down and it doesn't matter when tilting it up and down changes where the center of the field of view is on a perspective induced a horizon. Of course it matters. And you just showed that even if you tilted the camera up, you think that still works as long as the water levels line up.
Where is center of frame in this picture?
Well, in this one, it looks pretty center, but you said you don't need it to be. You said it doesn't have to be center of frame. You can just... Dude, you said that eye level is if you tilt the camera up and down.
Yeah. Center of frame is not eye level. Mm-hmm. Always. This is center of frame and eye level.
Right. And I agree that black line looks like it's center of frame. I don't deny that. What I do kind of dispute is that you have to gauge center of frame by the stupid little water pipes. Because...
That is the way to do it. That's the way you get center of frame. That's the way you make sure that everything's lined up.
Then why would you show the tilted ones? What's the point of that?
Because you and so many others have said it's tilted and that's not eye level. So I have to show what eye level is.
Well, I don't even buy that. First of all, I mean, I think the smartest way to get eye level, which in other words means perpendicular to where you're standing, to the center of gravity.
What would you do else?
I don't know, put a fucking level on it or something. Or use the built-in, leveling features that a lot of modern cameras have. I don't know why you would use this tube water thing. I mean, I don't think that's the smartest way to level your camera. I don't think that's the smartest way to do it. Or would you say that you did this to prove it to flat earthers who don't believe you were level?
Oh, there, back.
Yep.
So, you want to put a level on it?
Put a level on it, or use the internal leveling systems that cameras have, which I would assume are pretty reliable.
Like that one.
Yeah, you can probably do that. That'd probably be a decent starting
So you think that one is more accurate than 5 feet of water? Really?
Well, I definitely think that using water in 2 tubes is also with a shaky hand and hoping you get it accurate. And I'm not sure either one of these.
Exactly. If I shake this one just a little bit, you can see the bubble is moving. How do you think that is 40 something miles that way?
Well, if you shake your hands a little bit, then we have a problem too. So it
Yeah,
kind of
because
goes
the
both
water level
ways.
is level. Those are stationary standing on two tripods.
Look, I still am not 100% convinced that using those tubes. I have to look into that more. I'm not saying it doesn't work to level your camera. I just think there's probably smarter, better ways to do it. But I have a quick question for you. Do you use those two tubes as sort of a verification method for flat earthers who don't trust that you made it level? Is that basically the real reason you use those tubes? So you can be like, look, it's level, it matches the water. Is it more a verification tool for flat earthers who don't believe you have the camera level?
It's both, actually. Just both.
Okay.
To be sure that my camera is level and to show others how it works.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. And again, there's something about using the little water in the pipe thing that I don't buy it. But either way, the point is,
what you're saying is water doesn't find its level.
No, not even that. Not even that. My point is, I think there's probably different ways to level a camera to make it perpendicular to the center of the sphere Earth.
Yeah, so used here on this one.
Yeah.
Again, I would trust the water level more than the internal layer, because when you have something small like this, the level of what do you call it? Level of error or something is bigger than this one. And when I have the setup with 4 or 5 feet between two levels, that's a hell of a lot more exact than a water level, a small bubble.
That's fine. And if you want to say that it's more level, I don't know. I haven't really tested it for myself. I'll just give that to you. So if you can go back to your first image again, because I'm not done. I still have more questions.
What image do you want?
The one right before this one. So again, that is that's really important. Okay, so you say it's level. Okay.
Front to back.
Fair enough. Level front to back, perpendicular to down at your relative location. And these tubes are, you say they're used both to set the level, but also to verify for flat earthers, which is fine. I am skeptical that this method actually checks out. Maybe it does. I haven't really thought about it much, so maybe I'll take some time and think about it later. But I still have a question. So why? So you're telling me that the reason the horizon water line appears to be lower on the left side than it is on the right side. You're telling me that's because you were slightly tilting the camera to the left, right?
Or right, yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's fair. As long as the camera's level, that's all I care about. Level from front to back. Okay, good. So now basically what you're saying is that given your height and given the height of those wind turbines, the wind turbine should not appear to be beneath eye level. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And what was your elevation again?
70 feet.
70 feet, and the height of the wind turbines?
The top of those are about 1,000 feet.
So about 1,000 feet, and your elevation is 70, and you're 70 feet above water, correct?
Yeah.
It's not. If everything you're telling me is correct and accurate, then those wind turbines should be above the camera's eye level. And just to be clear, you said that the camera's eye level is 70 feet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If I take everything you said as truth, and that you did it all right and correctly, using these little water pipes, which I think might be a parlor trick, but I can't prove it, not yet anyways. I think it's a parlor trick, I really do. I think that's how you guys are up to some shenanigans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, right. So yeah, right. Okay. So and you didn't crop this image, right? You didn't crop this image, right?
I don't remember if I cropped it or not. This is probably the same frame.
How about the one right before that? You didn't crop that one, right? Because
I changed the aspect ratio from 5:4 to 16:9.
Okay, I just want to make sure that the line you drew, because the line you drew looks like the center of the picture. But you can crop the top and bottom out, or you can crop a little bit off the top, and then it looks like it's center of field, but it's not. So I just want to make sure. But it looks like it's the center. You said you changed the aspect ratio. I'm going to assume that doesn't do anything.
Nope.
It's still going to be at the center, I hope. I have to.
Yeah, because if I cropped it, you still have the line towards the. That's why I have the line on the lighthouse here. That wouldn't change if I cropped. If I did this with the picture, that wouldn't change anything. Or if I did this with the picture, it wouldn't change anything, because I have the lighthouse here. So that's my anchor point.
I'm not too sure about that, because I think if you chop like fucking all the ocean out of the picture, you crop out most of the ocean out from the bottom, then the center, that black line will no longer be in the center of the picture.
Not of the crop picture, no, but in the photograph and taken, it still is. It won't move after things wouldn't move in the picture after I cropped it.
Right. Well, right. But the point is, if you had cropped it before showing it to me, just having a black line that's on the lighthouse doesn't really show that you haven't cropped. I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying I don't see how the black line over the lighthouse confirms you didn't crop it. I don't follow you there.
If I cropped it, the cropping would move those wind turbines up here. You see my mouse, don't you?
Yeah, I see your mouse.
Yeah.
I don't
if I crop the image, that wouldn't move the lighthouses above eye level.
Crop the image that move the lighthouses above eye level.
I have the raw image here. I'm just going to stop sharing for a small part. I'm going to find that and I'll show you.
Yeah.
That was the end of the world. It's a funny name for it, about the end of the world. That's what it's called out there.
What, that area?
The place, yeah. It's called the end of the world.
Sounds depressing.
And March.
Sounds like the heliocentric model, because one day the sun is going to engulf, everything. We're all going to die, or whatever. Hey, I've really enjoyed this, man. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, this has been
civil conversation between two grown men.
Thank you. It's been great, man. I really like this. I know I've been a bit excited sometimes, but it's exciting.
Where did I put that raw image?
Everybody, shout out to Tommy. I'm gonna put a link to your channel in the chat so people.
Thanks.
Can go.
Appreciate that.
Go pull that up real quick here.
That was March 18th. Ah, scheiße. There it is. Yeah. I renamed the folders, it was almost lost.
Put Tommy back on screen.
I'm just going to screen share in just a second. I'm just going to find the right.
See how many people are watching. Surprisingly low number of viewers last night. 240. I mean, it's just ridiculous, bro. Just such a low number. But you guys know YouTube is admitted. They're cracking down. So I'm just going to assume that's what caused it. Nathan Oakley in the chat. Beyond the Imaginary Curve in the chat as well. Let me say hi to the people. I think Nathan might have been here a while ago or something.
There it is. Now I got it. First of all, I can screen share how. And share. Do you see my screen now?
Oh, 1 second. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. When I took the picture of that water level, I had to try a whole lot of different pictures because holding a camera is not easy. So you see this one. This is not eye level. This doesn't do it. And many of these pictures trying to get a focus between let's say 5-6 feet in front of me and several miles. That's not easy either to get that depth of the field, depth of what do you call it? Yeah. So I had to take a whole lot of pictures to get this to match up.
So
and when I finally,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, when I finally get the picture right, like this one, that's the one I used. So it's not just taking a picture and saying that's it. It's a whole lot of try and error.
Right. Okay.
I'm going to show you this.
So could I ask a question?
Sure.
Did you ever check to see if when you had the camera's eye level matching the water in the pipes, to see if the internal level indicator in the camera was also saying it was level?
No, I didn't do that.
I really think you should do that. I would like to know if the camera's internal level readings match when you say the camera's level to the water pipes.
It didn't when I was on the football field, on this one.
Well,
here you can see it matches when I was on the football field. Then it was center of frame like that.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, cool. Still a little bit weirded out by when you lift the camera up and down. Okay, yeah, no, actually, I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that's.
Where the hell did I put that water level? I have too many pictures. I'm trigger happy as hell. Here it is. 1386. Here's the raw image. Just gonna wait to.
You know, if the horizon is sinking that much, how far away are those windmills?
47 miles.
47 miles. Okay, that's pretty long. Actually, it's very long. Damn. Yes, some good clarity.
Yeah, I have a nice lens.
Hey, would you have what camera were you using?
Canon EOS 7D Mark II and Nikon 100 to 400.
Okay. Would you happen to have any pictures, ideally from the same day, where you're fully zoomed in? I'm just curious how powerful the lens is.
Yeah, that is fully zoomed in. That's 400 millimeter.
47 miles is far as hell. So this is fully zoomed in?
Yeah, that's the difference between a good camera and the P1000. The P1000 has what do you call that, a sensor, which is as tiny as your fingernail, little fingernail. So
yeah,
it gets...
a lot of people shit on the P1000's sensor.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so could you go back to the original picture with the level pipes and the camera looking out at the thing, at the windmills, the one you were sharing earlier?
This one?
Yes. Okay. Oh, actually, the one right before that. Okay. So, first of all, are you using this picture to prove anything, or is this just to prove that the camera's level, or does this... You're saying you can already see the windmills here and they're below the eye level, correct? That's basically what you're saying?
This was just to get the measurement on the lighthouse to see where my eye level was at the lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just about on the white and red part there.
Right. So would you say that your height is about the same height as that lighthouse? Like where the black line crosses in front of it, would you say that those are about the same height? Like where you're standing?
Um, of course, there is a bit of curvature between me and the lighthouse, but that's where I measured the eye level to be.
Well, I'm just curious if it matches. I'm curious if your height, 70 feet, where that lighthouse crosses, where the line crosses in front of the lighthouse, like in the middle there. I'm curious what that height, I'm curious how high that is on the lighthouse.
Yeah, I understand, but there's no measurements halfway up the lighthouse.
Okay, that's fair.
There are measurements on the top where it says 47 meters, and that's 22 meters. So that's just about halfway up. 47 meters from the bottom here behind the houses.
Okay.
So it's 47 meters from there to here, and that's 22 meters. So that's just about the same thing, yeah.
Well, I guess 47 meters above sea level, right? But I guess that varies. Yeah. That varies with the tides. So I guess.
No, that's a set height from what do you call it? Standard sea level or something. That's from zero, which is not affected by tides.
Yeah.
That's the what do you call it? The height of the light has a name on it, and that is set from set sea level.
Yeah. Anyways, okay.
The median.
All right. So okay. So if you could go to the next picture where you're more zoomed in. Okay. So yeah, I mean that's what you're saying. You're saying that it's level. Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Am I screen sharing or just you see it?
You are. Yeah. You're screen sharing. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, if everything you say is true, then those turbines, from my understanding of how perspective works, they should be above the center of frame.
Yeah.
But
that one is also 1,000 feet above sea level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, you set your level by matching it to those water pipes. I got to think about that one more. So I think we're both going to leave this debate with some things to think about. I'll get back to you on that because yeah. By the way, I'm going to send you the link to that angular resolution video. The one that you said you wanted to take a look at. The guy with the hallway.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to send you the link to that so you can take a look at it. I'm going to take a closer look at what you captured. And maybe we can get back to each other on these thingies. Let me see if I can put it in the Hangout here. Put it in the Hangout here. Right, video hallway flashlight.
Just to answer Ben Wiener in there, I have more than one picture. I have several pictures of the curvature the other way.
Okay. Yeah, we have Beyond the Imaginary Curve is up in the chat. He says, I will make another video showing what Tommy is doing. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what people come up with. Yeah. So yeah, we got to look into this a little bit more. Anyways, we both have stuff to look into. How much time you got, bro?
I got all the time in the world. It's 8 p.m. here now, and there's nothing to do on TV, so.
Yeah. I mean, what on TV compares to the flat Earth debate? I mean, there's just...
Yeah, that's why it's...
There's just nothing. Nothing comes close.
Dire Straits, 56 channels and nothing on or something, yeah.
Yeah. I can't watch TV. It's horrific. Okay, I'm just putting something in the chat there. All right. Anyways, blah blah blah. All right, man. Well, I got all the time in the world too, basically. So, yeah, I find your picture very cool. I think that it doesn't match what I understand should happen. Now, I think there's a lot of things taking place when you're
Yeah.
looking out over the distance. We have an atmosphere, we have looming, we have all time. I mean, even the Globers admit that looming causes things to rise up into the sky when they're not really there. For example, just share my screen real quick. I captured this footage of a lighthouse, including all the little trees around its base. You could even see rocks that are just barely above the water over by the beach. According to the Globers, this is all looming up. It's not actually physically there. It's more like a hologram that's been bent upward. You're not actually looking at it directly. So there's a lot of stuff happening. And I have to wonder, I have heard of a phenomenon called refractive sinking. This is admitted. I think there's a Wikipedia page for it and everything. I'm going to pull that up real quick.
That's why I do this on days where there's no distortions.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's always some distortions.
Yeah, but the least amount possible.
Well, the least amount possible over 47 miles. So there's a lot.
Yeah, I've seen that time-lapse video from is it Skunk Bay called?
Oh yeah.
Where that island is floating like hell.
Oh yeah, exactly. Here it is on screen. Sinking is the opposite of looming. In sinking, stationary objects that are normally seen above the horizon appear to be lowered, or even may disappear below the horizon. In looming, the curvature is increasing. So this is mainstream sources, I imagine, unless the Wikipedia page is fraudulent. So if there's a phenomenon that can cause things to lower, I have to wonder if that's going on with your turbines. I'm not saying it's what's happening. I'm saying I wonder, when you're dealing with 47 miles of the Earth's atmosphere, a lot of crazy shit happens. That's why you guys had to pull out looming to explain.
If it wasn't because I have to drive 3 hours each way, I could do this several times, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to repeat it during this summer. So if I get the same result multiple times, I think it's going towards the globe.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I've done my own observations over 15 to 20 miles, and I get it's almost something new every day. So it's crazy. And maybe you live in better conditions, but
it's a bit colder here, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though cold is actually not that good for evacuation. I know that, but then again, I'm 22 meters or 70 feet above the water, so I'm not at water level.
Hang on, let me respond to Bob the Science Guy real quick. He's in the chat trolling. Not what I was referring to, bruh. Bob the Conspiracy Guy. Okay. Only 228 viewers. It's amazing. It's amazing what happens when YouTube admits they're censoring flat Earth. Okay.
It's me dragging you down.
No, I don't think it's you. I think people like seeing flat Earth debates. This is a live debate. We're put in our minds. We are battling our ideas, and I think there would be more people watching. But YouTube admitted they're censoring. So, anyways.
Yeah. But then again, there was this guy in the chat who said I had just one picture of the curvature. I actually have more than that, if you can share my screen again.
Sure.
Am I on?
Yes.
Thanks. This is also one of the things that people say is either distorted or messing with the... Damn, I wanted... Hey. Now we want to swap pictures. One more time. I have too many pictures there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start in this one. So, this again. When I do this to a picture, everybody say that's distorting it and adding curvature or whatever. And it's not straight and everything. This is a straight board, and the board is staying straight. It's still straight. That horizon is curving. and that doesn't do anything with squeezing the picture together. Has nothing to do with making a curve from nothing, because then the board would be curving also.
Now, could you go back to the first picture? So I guess you're going to say that the fact that, you know, the board isn't perfectly like quote level from left to right, you're going to say that doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I've seen this before where people, they literally Photoshop the images. It is Photoshop because it has to be. I've seen people Photoshop, they literally will compress an image. I saw Jeranism do a video where he squashed his kitchen table, a flat kitchen table, and it had a bend. He squashed his pool table and it had a bend. So I don't know what the hell's causing that, but apparently you can make a flat kitchen table look curved just by compressing the image. So
then you should see Sean Hufford showing the same how he did it. I don't exactly remember how he did it, but Jaron did something tricky there.
How did? Oh, so you're suggesting some type of conspiracy, right?
Just say that Jaron did something tricky there, and
tricky.
Sean Hufford showed what he did.
So he was some type of conspiracy to lie and deceive to people. Is basically what you're saying, right?
I'm just saying that he did something tricky with his pictures.
Okay, no, that's fine. I mean, some people are paranoid. They're not trusting.
If you see, go on Sean Hufford's channel. He showed what he did.
Well, pull the link
but
up.
This is not actually Photoshop. This is just Windows Paint, simple Windows Paint, and I'm keeping it inside the frame here just to see that it's nothing else but squished together, and I'm not adding anything. Just making the curvature more what do you call it? Clear.
Noticeable. Yeah, noticeable, I mean, yeah. I'm not too impressed by like Photoshop pictures of Earth's curvature. I think it's funny. I think it's funny you guys have to Photoshop it. All right, paint it, Photoshop it. You have to manipulate the image just to get the curvature. I just think that's funny. Like that is actually funny.
Yeah, because as Neil deGrasse Tyson said, it looks flat. Mm-hmm. I agree to that. Everyone says that it looks flat because it's big. So we had to do this to get the curvature more prominent. This is the way to do it. Because everyone, even to me, it looks flat. Because, we're standing on about 70 feet above sea level. So, of course, it looks flat because it's big.
Yep. Cool.
No one denies it.
Cool.
Again, showed you earlier with 747, you need to go 35,000 feet up to be to have a 3 degree down to the horizon. So,
but you can notice it, 70 feet in your picture, 70 feet elevation.
Yeah, because I have a wide angle lens and I can do this.
Why is it so easy? In the prior pictures where you had the turbines and you used little water tubes.
Yeah.
I mean, why is it so easy to see such a vast discrepancy in the eye level from just 70 feet, but you say you got to go high up on a fucking airplane to even begin to barely notice that the horizon is below eye level? Like it's clearly not at the alleged eye level in your picture. It's way below it. Like that shit's fucking obvious.
That's center frame.
Right, eye level. It's way below it in your picture.
Yeah, well,
assuming everything you said is true, which I'm still gonna, kind of check all that, but
that's why we use different lenses. We use this one to get front and back curvature, and this one to get side to side. Or this is a 24. I have a 10 to 20 millimeter, but this is the difference. We got do different observations. I can't do this one side to side, and I can't do that one to get front and back. That doesn't work. And our eyes doesn't work on that one. That's why you need the right tools.
Right, but so why? I mean, if at 70 feet elevation, the horizon is so below eye level, then it must be insanely below eye level in an airplane, right?
It's still not that much in degrees. It's just barely looking down.
Yeah, but I mean, if you pull that picture up again with the water tubes and the turbines, I mean, that horizon line is so clearly below eye level. Like, it's so clearly below eye level. Like if you just pull that
Well,
shit up.
yeah, I'm gonna find it.
I'm just saying, if it's that below eye level at 70-foot elevation, it must be crazy below eye level at 25, 35,000 feet altitude. Um,
No, because it's moving away from you. That's perspective.
what's moving away from you?
The horizon.
Right, but it's also appearing to be lower, right? The higher you go, the lower the horizon is.
The angle here, because it's zoomed in, the angle here is not as big as it looks. Just like when this one, because this is a 10 millimeter, this is just about the same angle as it was when I zoom in. The angle is greater here than here. So just by zooming in, you get that bigger
No, but
angle.
yeah, but no, I'm not. No, but I'm not talking. I'm not talking about that. I just mean like, if you go to the picture with the tubes and the turbines, you can see how below eye level the horizon is. I mean, there it is. You're only 70 feet elevation. I'm just saying. I'm just saying the higher you get, it'll appear even lower. Correct?
I have.
I mean, that's how your model works.
Yeah,
Right.
this guy did it.
So I'm just saying.
This is at sea level and
So-
1,200 feet and 5,600 feet.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying from a plane.
Yeah, but-
from a plane, it must be crazy visible.
It looks different because this guy has his phone and I have zoomed in. So when I'm zooming in, that angle is bigger in
Didn't
the
you
picture.
say earlier that from an airplane you barely notice the horizon dropping?
With your eyes, yeah.
So with your eyes you can barely notice it, but from 70-foot elevation it's pretty clear here.
Because I zoom in on it like this. Now the angle is bigger here.
But wait, you didn't
Than
zoom
it
in
is
on
here.
it. You didn't zoom in on it in the first picture, right?
No, because I used to zoom on the camera. This is a digital zoom on the screen.
So wait, in that picture, in that first picture with the pipes, you're already heavily zoomed in?
It's either 24, I'm going to see here if I can.
Because I mean,
This
damn.
is 70 millimeter.
Right. Okay. Okay. Right. So you're already pretty. You sure? You sure you're heavily zoomed in? That tripod doesn't look big enough for you to be that zoomed in. I mean,
You
it's
can see on the left. See on the left side, 70 millimeter. It stands on the left side. 1/40 of a second, f20, 70 millimeter.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know off the top of my head how zoomed in 70 millimeters is, but
This is 400. You see here, 400 millimeter.
yeah.
It's all there.
Yeah. We'll go back to the other
And
one.
if I go to this one, this is 10 millimeter.
Okay. Could you go back to the one with the pipes? Yeah. All right. So you say so you're saying that the reason it looks like there's that much space is because you're zoomed in. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't look like you're zoomed in that much, but fine. I'll take your word for it. What I also want to say is, if you were really zoomed in, then yeah, like you said, it must have been pretty hard to stabilize that camera to be level.
It's heavy.
Yeah, it must have been tough because especially the more zoomed in you are, it only takes a tiny movement to send you skyrocketing away from things.
That's why I took several pictures.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So you say that because you're zoomed in, it appears like it's a much higher horizon drop. Okay, fair enough. That's cool.
Yeah, because again, this is 10 millimeter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I'm not impressed by photoshopped compressed images of Earth's curvature.
Again, it's Paint, not Photoshop. It's Windows Paint.
I know it's a figure of speech. It's a figure of speech, but again, I'd like to know how Jaren made a curved table out of a flat table. I would like to know how he did that, but maybe.
Yeah, that's on Sean Hufford's channel somewhere.
All right, well, maybe one day we'll find that video. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not sure, I'm not sure if there's much else to say at this point. I mean, we can probably move on to a different topic, but
Whatever you feel like.
I feel like we beat this one to death pretty well. Yeah. I mean,
we can agree to disagree, sure.
yeah, we can agree to disagree, and like I said, like I send you those links, those videos. I hope you take a look at, and I'm gonna investigate your stuff further. and we can do that. I don't really think there's really much else to say for now. Um, I think it's weird that the horizon on a flat Earth matches the horizon on a globe.
Except for it doesn't rise. Yeah, the distance is there. Of course, the distance is there, but the rise or not. That's it.
Yeah, well, I've seen some stuff to the contrary. I've seen some analysis done. Let me see if I can find it here, showing that somebody got some pictures out of an airplane window as the airplane ascended, and they did a comparison of the pictures, and the horizon was not lowering to eye level. Let me see.
Just to make clear, so on the flat Earth there wouldn't be any horizon. The formula for the distance to the horizon is not that great, but I can see how it could somehow work, but not with the level, not the eye level horizon,
Right.
sea level horizon with eye level.
Right, and that's what I want to confirm with your images. I want to confirm that stuff really is below eye level. Maybe I'll go out and I'll do a similar type of thing to your setup.
Do you have a camera?
Huh?
Do you have a camera?
Yes, I have a P1000 actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll see if I can do some of those because that sounds like an interesting one. Yeah, and that's the thing, when I found out that you can have a horizon on a flat surface, and indeed the horizon closely matches the distance just caused by perspective to the horizon that happens on a sphere. That was like, I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, is that at least like a kind of like a whoa moment? Like, wow, that's kind of interesting. I mean, is it not at least a little interesting to you? Like, from a coincidence standpoint, like, what are the odds? Why would the human eye create a horizon? Okay, you say it's not at eye level on the flat Earth or on the globe, and that's fine, but what about the distance to the horizon? The fact that there's even an overlap between how far away the horizon would be on a flat Earth caused by perspective and how far away the horizon is on a sphere. Like, what do you think about that coincidence?
To be honest, I'm not sure because that was something I haven't been into. I've seen people like Gary Benga and My Two Cents saying a exact same thing, but why the eye is... what I don't understand is they use something like 2 6-foot guys standing on the ground 3 or 5 miles from each other. And that 6 feet high guy is disappearing at that distance or something. But then again, I had my ship with that big blue field on it. That's much, much bigger than a 6-foot guy. And that should not disappear like it does on the horizon, or over the horizon.
Right. Yeah, because I had heard about this whole, you can have a horizon on a flat Earth due to perspective thing a while ago. And I was surprised when Rumpus, he's like, yeah, a flat Earth horizon is about 3 miles away for a 6-foot tall person, just like the globe. Obviously, he doesn't agree that the horizon is at eye level. He says it's below eye level, like you say. But still, I think it's a weird coincidence. Like, what are the odds of that? Like, to me...
Yeah, but that again, that's calculated from 2 guys standing 3 miles away from each other. And those are 6 feet high. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dry air.
Yeah, it's all right.
So if that one guy is disappearing at 3 miles, why isn't that ship disappearing at the same distance?
Which ship?
The one I showed you earlier, the big blue one.
The one that's like missing?
The color line ship, yeah. I showed you it going away in the distance and then it disappeared behind the horizon. And that's a whole lot bigger than that 6 feet of angular resolution, or what we call it. So that part should not disappear like that.
Well, I think it really depends on the height of the viewer above the water. So it's not just how big the ship is. It also depends on the height of the viewer.
Again, if this is on a flat Earth, that wouldn't...
Like I showed you in the hallway demonstration, when he lifted the smaller aperture camera up, the flashlight that was originally missing was visible again. So it also depends on the height of the person.
But then again, that's a tiny little flashlight. I'm talking about a ship that is pretty big. So you have to hide that one behind something calculated on a flat Earth.
Yeah, well, in the hallway, I mean, the flashlight's only 400 feet away. How far away is it in the picture? I bet it's more. I bet it's more than 400 feet away. Yeah, more than 400
it's
feet.
estimated to be about 21.8 miles.
Well, there you go. I mean, you can hide. Given this bottom-up disappearance here in this demonstration, with the two cameras and the flashlight disappearing out of one camera and not the other, and then reappearing when you lift the camera up again, you know, there's that limit in place, and there's a certain distance where things start to disappear at the bottom. So you know, if I'm sure you can calculate the math. In fact, this guy basically has calculated the math. In fact, let me see if I could find that here real quick. Within this example, for our angular resolution limit, we'll assume a standard 1 arc minute, 0.02 degrees. This will standardize the expected horizon for the two cameras given equal aperture heights such that a different disappearance rate will meet a different angular resolution limit, theta. So he goes into the math of what's causing the stuff to disappear bottom up. So I'm not gonna. I mean, I don't know the details about your ship. I don't know how high the person was. I don't know the aperture size of the camera they were using. But I'll assume you can probably get all those variables, and you can probably get a pretty good calculation done. That's gonna match all this mathematics and all these calculations that you can do, given diffraction limits, angular resolution, and the size of the aperture of your viewing instrument.
The thing is, even if those numbers would match something, that's just not how it works on a flat Earth.
Well, because, it matched the hallway demonstration in real life.
Yeah, but again, that wouldn't work. You couldn't hide that ship on a flat Earth while it's that big.
Well, why not? I mean, if we've already demonstrated that a flashlight can disappear at a measly 400 feet, why can't you imagine a ship 20-something miles away disappearing?
Just like those wind turbines, they're standing on a 500-foot hill. That hill is also gone. So just cannot hide that. Even if you have the calculations for it, that's not, no.
But wait a minute.
That just doesn't happen.
Yeah, but the turbines are way bigger, bro. I mean, the flashlight that the guy used in the hallway demonstration.
Yeah, that's my point. That's exactly my point.
Off the floor. If it's bigger, then it's obviously not going to be fully disappeared from the bottom up due to the angular resolution limit because it is taller up. You can still see the door in the hallway at the end. The door's still there because it's higher up. The flashlight on the floor, indeed, I don't know if it was this demonstration or a second one he did, the whole like little floorboard at the end of the hallway, that little gray strip on the bottom of the floor, even that kind of gets eaten up when the camera's lower, but then reappears a little bit as he lifts the camera up. Not just the flashlight, literally the whole bottom of the wall at the distance is appearing and reappearing.
Then again, this is at the floor. If you rise it up to eye level, you would see the whole flashlight.
If you rise what to eye level?
Camera.
If you rise the camera to eye
level.
To eye level.
To normal people, eye level is say 5-6 feet.
Right, that's the point. Yeah. No, that's the point. Yes, and that's exactly what he did. He lifted the iPhone up and the flashlight was visible. He didn't even have to go up to the height of the average person. He went up a couple inches and it was visible.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm standing 70 feet above water, there's nothing you couldn't hide anything on the flat Earth. On that distance, I see the top of the boat, I see the chimney and the radar, but the rest of that big blue boat is gone.
So what you're saying is things can disappear bottom up in a hallway up to 400 feet, but then if you took out the hallway and we're looking at an ocean, no longer do things disappear bottom up.
I say if I stood with a camera camera at the waterline, that ship would disappear much faster because of the curvature. But standing 70 feet above the water on the flat Earth, there will be no, that
No,
just doesn't match.
no. For first of all, the flat Earth perspective induced horizon matches the globe Earth horizon distance. So there's already an overlap.
Again,
And
the distance, yeah, but not the rising to eye level.
no, I know. I know based on your picture it doesn't. I've seen other analysis that say it does rise to eye level, but that's neither here nor there. I'm going to give you I'm going to trust that you did your whole thing right. All your images were done properly. The camera was actually level, i.e. perpendicular to the fucking floor. I'm going to give you that using those water pipes actually is a good method. I'm going to give you all that.
A little
But
bit better than this one.
but we still have an overlap in terms of the distance to the horizon, and we still have things disappearing bottom up. You say, you know what? In fact, let me pull something up for you because this guy actually did an analysis of one of my long distance observations, buildings 18 miles away, and he did an angular resolution calculation given the diffraction limits, given the size
That
of the
20-story building.
Sorry?
Is that a 20-story building?
Yeah, we're talking about 20-story buildings. Hang on.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Hang on right here. So what he does here is he does a calculation, and he found that the amount of building that's missing is a pretty good match for the angular resolution limit of the human eye. So let me just let me find it here. Blah, 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 blah. Snell's law, Abbe's formula. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so here he goes. So whereas at 14-mile observation, we had almost no resolution loss and theta about equal to 0.002 degrees, when we zoom into greater distances, there is less light and we are seeing less of those lower wavelengths. When this happens, we may see farther, but at the cost of images cutting off at the bottom. Having hit the larger theta around equal to 0.02 degrees, tenfold increase. As an example, this is a view of the Palace condominium in the footage. So this is my footage. It is the Palace condominium. It is viewed at 17 miles from the 6-foot observer height. So I was standing right at the water. I'm about 6 feet tall. Camera's about 6 feet height off the water. 17-mile away building. The angular resolution loss at 17 miles and a theta equal to 0.02 degrees is 31 feet. If you compare the images, it looks to be exactly that. We will confirm.
Yeah, but that's the angular resolution limit of the eyes, isn't it?
Not sure. Let me.
Yeah, because a camera is totally different on our eyes.
No, it's
if you have
true.
that P1000 with that sensor is just the size of my fingernail. If
Yeah.
you put all those pixels you have onto that one, and I put all my pixels into 1.6 crop factor, the angular resolution limit is not the same on those cameras.
No, I understand that the resolution limit varies from device to device. I'm not sure if that number is applicable for the P1000. Let me just scroll back and forth a little bit just to see. Because I think the angular resolution limit of the human eye is 0.002, but here it says 0.02. So these are different numbers. Let me confirm real quick what the angular resolution limit of the human eye is, because I think it's 0.002, and here he says 0.02. So let me just get that real quick.
It says tenfold increase there in parentheses, so I don't know what it is.
Angular resolution limit of human eye. Let's see. The basic accuracies of the human eye are quick autofocus. Actually, you know what? Let me also type in, what is the angular resolution limit of the P1000? Limit of P1000. I doubt there's going to be a straight answer for this on Google.
Yeah. That's why I can get better quality picture than the P1000, because first of all that sensor is so much bigger, and second, the optics is better. Even you can zoom more with the P1000. That's just a 500mm zoom. I got a 460 effective, and that's gives a lot better images than a P1000.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
I can't come.
I don't see anything here about the angular resolution limit of the P1000, but let me see what the angular resolution of the human eye is. Would you happen? You don't know, do you?
I have no idea.
All right, that's all right.
Ask Gary. He knows. He's in the chat. Gary knows.
Well, Gary, what's the angular resolution limit of the human eye? Why don't everybody in the chat? Well, we might get some trolls talking shit. Someone says 0.02.
You know, those pictures, is that where you live?
No, I don't live in those buildings, but that is a general. Yeah, that's a general area where I live. Yeah.
Yeah, I live in a boring place.
Well,
on the countryside north of Oslo.
Oh, I'm about to live in a boring place because I'm moving out to like a fucking rural area. I'm looking to get out of the city. So yeah, I've had enough of this city bullshit. I bet you're trying to move to a city, aren't you?
No. I don't want to live in a big city. Yeah. But compared, I had no cars. I had a road behind me here, and just one car every minute or something, and it's always quiet. I have the airport, Gardermoen Airport, just a few miles that way, and it's kind of quiet. Yeah.
Okay. I keep seeing 0.02 in the chat, and I also see it when I Google it. So I'm gonna assume you got one person saying 0.016. You know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's totally different in a camera, and that also varies with how much you zoom, because you're tightening in the angle you're looking at. So the more you zoom, it will different the limit.
Okay. Well, let me just finish reading this section here. The angular resolution loss at 17 miles and a theta equal to 0.02 degrees is 31 feet. If you compare the images, it looks to be exactly that. We will confirm that finding with several other images. Keep in mind that an Earth curve calculator requires this building to be lost behind 108 feet of physical curve with downward refraction factored in. So basically what he's saying is that what I saw doesn't exactly match the Earth curve calculator. The Earth curve calculator. But he seems to say that it matches how much would be missing from the bottom at 0.02 degree theta. So again, you say it's not the same as the P1000. I don't know, but there's that.
Yeah, that's it, because the angular resolution will change from this to that, pretty much. That's not the same.
Well,
because the light will hit the sensor from different angles in there when you zoom. So that will not be the same.
Okay.
That changes all the time.
All right. Well, I think my point either way is that things do disappear bottom up due to the nature of your viewing instrument. I think it's been demonstrated. I think it's basically proven at this point. Do you think things disappear bottom up due to the diffraction limit and stuff like that? Do you think that?
No, due to curvature.
But even on let's assume a flat surface, do you think it would happen?
No, you can't hide anything on a flat Earth.
So you can hide something in this hallway example that I showed, but you can't hide it.
Yeah, tiny little flashlight, maybe. Yeah, some kind. Yeah, but not a ship that big. Well, not the bottom of the windmills, wind turbines.
But that's the thing. Why would you be able to hide any of it on a flat hallway? Why would the flashlight be missing at all? Something's going
because
on.
I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, sure, it's a small tiny little thing. Well, it's not a big ship.
Yeah, and for anybody who's just started watching, this is just a test somebody did where they got two cameras. They put them at the center of lens at the same height, but the bigger camera with the bigger aperture, it could see the little flashlight far away on the floor, but the smaller little camera right next to it with a smaller lens couldn't see the flashlight. But then he lifted it up a few inches and the flashlight was visible again. So for anybody who's
something's
watching,
going on here.
Right, and that's, whatever. You said you're going to get back to me, and that's fine. Um, so I think it's very good proof that things disappear bottom up, even on a flat surface, due to the viewing instrument. But that's what I take away from it. Um,
Another thing, just to switch topic like that. I saw you had soundless bridge up there, the causeway.
Sorry, what?
Just went over the screen here. Yeah.
Sound? Oh yeah, I think Life is Short had it up. Yeah.
Yeah, you had it on the screen just a few seconds ago.
Yeah.
That's another thing, which is not that one. There it is, sharing. Do you see my screen again?
Hold up. Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's the Soundly causeway, and those white dots are GPS marks from when Jesse Kozlowski drove over it and measured it with GPS. And that's the difference between optical or natural reflection, or anything. The white part is to measure the GPS. So
yeah, that's full of.
That's another great.
That's full of a lot of circular reasoning.
Even though the image is distorted as hell, I know that, I see that, but the GPS is more curved, and that's you can't distort GPS.
Yeah, but GPS literally, I mean, the word itself presupposes its outcome, so it's not. I wouldn't say that's very reliable evidence. It's literally called global.
But
it stands for global positioning system, but I like to call it global presupposition system.
It works though, doesn't it? It works. It doesn't matter if it's satellites or ground based.
I bet you can make a banana positioning system, and it'll get you anywhere you want on the face of the earth.
Yeah, but it works. It still works.
Yeah, but just because it gets you to your destination doesn't mean we live on a sphere.
No, but it doesn't matter if it's satellites or ground based. It still works.
Nah.
You can still get the y-axis, x-axis, and the z-axis, and it all works. Yeah, GPS works.
Yeah, it gets you to your location, but I don't think it proves a sphere.
Jesse Kozlowski's GPS measurement did it.
You mean this right here? This right here that's on screen, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, what does it match? I mean, first of all, it doesn't even match it perfectly. So there's already...
No, because this is, as well you said before, this refraction and much distortion. Yeah.
Yeah, and my view is that the sphere Earth is a hijacking of perspective, refraction, atmospheric conditions, and countless other things. So it doesn't prove shit, unfortunately, because it just...
And even though the refraction is actually lifting the bridge on the other end, so it's less curved than the GPS show. So that curve should be more...
Well, we mentioned earlier there's something called refractive sinking, where things can actually sink down. So whether it's lifting or sinking or whatever, all these globe post movings that are taking place, I mean, I'm sorry, this is just not good evidence as far as I'm concerned.
But still, the GPS is measuring the more curved than
yes, a global presupposition is measuring the global presupposition that hijacked the flat nature of the world.
This is measuring with GPS and see what the result is. It's not presupposing anything.
Well, okay. No, again, it's not matching the bridge, because as you can see over there, it's not matching the bridge perfectly. So
because they have distortions like hell.
So clearly, right. So there are distortions like hell. So clearly, first of all, from a visual standpoint, clearly things aren't adding up. And furthermore, it's not adding up to a global presupposition system. So it's literally circular reasoning stacked on circular reasoning. It's a desperate attempt by Globers to try to prove their ancient presupposition. It's garbage. Unfortunately, it's trash.
It's not presupposing anything. It's just making an observation and see what matches.
Yeah, well, it obviously doesn't match.
No, but that's because the refraction actually is lifting the bridge from the GPS.
I know, and then
distortion is lifting the bridge.
Yeah, and then when I went out and I could see this condominium, refraction was lifting the condominium up. behind the
Yeah,
Earth curve, and
but then again, what?
and that's why it was flat, and that's why you could see everything. When according to
What
you guys, it's supposed to be hidden by 90 feet of Earth curve. So, yeah, we have a problem. And honestly, I
what kind of
think
distortions do you have in GPS? What distorts GPS?
the distortion with GPS is called global presupposition system. that
No,
that's
because then you wouldn't get where you're
the
going.
distortion. The distortion in GPS is that the very word GPS implies the thing you're trying to prove. It's circular reasoning 101, global presupposition system.
You can call it ground positioning system. I don't care. It still works.
It's called globe.
Yeah, but it still works. It doesn't matter what it is. It
It
works.
doesn't. It works to do what? To get you to your mom's house when you turn on Google Maps. What do you mean it works? It
Yeah,
works for what?
yeah. It gets you from A to B. It knows where you are on the Earth.
Yeah, but that doesn't prove we live on a sphere. And again, I just want to point something out real quick. Like, I went out there, as everybody can see here. I could see stuff that's supposed to be hidden by 90 feet of Earth curvature, and you guys have to say that it's the looming, it's the sinking, it's the refraction, which is fine, but it's just classic moving the goalpost. And more importantly, the problem is that this is an issue. This is a problem, bro. This, when
Yeah,
people
that's
go
why
out.
Jessica Kozlowski did a double. What do you call it? He doubled it up and see if it matched, and it
But
pretty
here's
much
the
did.
problem. If you went out and you tried to do a GPS coordinate of what I saw on this day, guess what? This would look flat while his GPS would show curve. So there would be a whopping contradiction. And then you have to ask yourself, well, what do I trust? Do I trust some programmed microchip called global presuppositioning system? Or do I trust what my eyes show, a totally flat Earth, which you guys say is because it's refracting and it's looming? So I don't trust GPS because it's literally circular reasoning, and no pun intended, circular. But it's a global presupposition system. So to me, it doesn't prove shit.
But it still works.
It's
You get from A to B, and if you're lost in the forest, you can find out of the forest, and yeah, GPS works.
It's
No
maps.
matter what.
Maps are projections. So I'm sure you could have a fucking see what would be a good acronym for a flat Earth presupposition. You could have a PPS, a plane presupposition system, and I'm sure it'll get you everywhere you need to go, except for Antarctica. Got to keep that part out. Oh, that's convenient. We can't go to Antarctica. So
Just order a trip. There are several sites on Google on the internet. Just order a trip.
well,
Anyone can do it.
you can go to the coastline. The way I think I
Actually,
saw.
I had a neighbor about 25, 30 years ago. He worked on that AVAX, or you call it, that plane with that disc on the top.
Yeah.
And they actually had to do it in the Antarctica to get from all those distortions from all the signals and everything. So they actually used Antarctica as a base for that to get out of all the distortions.
Yeah. Someone went to the icy place where all the world's countries agree they have to protect because penguins and shit. Okay, I mean, whatever. I mean, I just don't care.
He was a Norwegian guy working for a German company.
Well, you know
There's
what?
no
You know what I would
map
like
to
somebody to do? I would like someone to like fly over the South Pole. Oh wait, that one Glober tried to do it, and
You have Flight 51, American Airlines Flight 51. They did it
Yeah.
in 78 or something.
Well, I know that there was a Glober. I think his name, YouTube channel Greater Sapien. He raised like 20,000 to go over the South Pole, and then like the company that was offering the flights just vanished, mysteriously vanished. I mean, that way to add fuel to the conspiracy fire.
I put a link in the chat now to that Flight 50. That's American Airlines Flight 50. That's across the globe, over the globe. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way, it's not impressive evidence. It's and that's the thing. I think that the reason Aristotle pointed to stuff far away in the distance at the literal vanishing line of what we can see, the horizon. I think the reason you guys, your best evidence for the globe is poor evidence, because you say Oh, if you look out at the horizon 20 miles away, you can kind of see that there's nothing there. That's your proof for the globe. Look, far away, 20 miles. You can kind of see that nothing's there. We live on a sphere, right, bro? And then if that doesn't work, you guys say, well, we can prove what's under our feet by looking at the lights in the sky far away. It's
Or
like,
using seismic waves.
like, yeah, why don't you guys actually get me some measurable proof of the Earth's curvature? Why hasn't anybody measured it? Why is it always look far away at the horizon? Or
Is the flat Earth measured?
look in the sky at some lights.
Have anyone measured the flat Earth?
Well, we don't have literally all the backing of every government, authority, institution, university, funding. It's true. It's true. The globe has all the funding and all the organization and all the consensus behind it. So
how many millions and millions of people would be in on it, do you think? You have all the governments, all the airline pilots, all the big ship captains, all the teachers.
You don't have to be in on it. You can just presuppose you live on a sphere the way we've been doing since Pythagoras pulled it out of his ass 2,500 years ago. And then everybody's like, hey, I was born and raised to think I live on a sphere. Every generation before me was born and raised to think they live on a sphere since Pythagoras 2,500 years ago. So everybody just walks through the world. They're like, oh, everything I see proves the Earth is a sphere. Sunsets. Okay, yeah, the sun's setting because of that. Oh, look, something.
Yeah, interesting thing about that. Where I live in Norway, the smallest angle towards the sun on my model is 25 degrees.
What's your point?
The sunset.
Don't tell me
Sunrise and sunset.
Don't tell me we're getting back into fucking Polaris now.
No, you talked about the sunset.
I know, but we talked about these lights in the sky and how what you presuppose plays a big role in what you observe, and how you interpret what you observe. I mean.
Just by reasoning and common sense.
Well, reasoning and common sense says the Earth is flat, but anyways, yeah, I think we've gone long enough, man. So thanks for coming.
Can I round it off? Let's round it off with this one. Do you know what happens in just about 1 month for the flat Earth?
Oh, some type of weird presuppositional stupid nonsense.
Then again, he's doing now. It's up to 2,000 observations of the sun. The same day,
I heard about
myself. This. Yeah, the same day, myself and at least the others are going to make it big. We're going to take the moon and do the same thing to see if the sun is close and the moon is close. So we're going to have as much possible observations as possible.
I know.
From Australia to Africa and Europe.
I know you guys are going to point to the sky to prove what's under our feet. Why can't someone just measure it, man? Like, why not? Okay. Well, I saw Slice Barcane try to show the curve, and probably what I would say is probably the closest thing to an actual direct measurement of Earth curve. You know, that water level bendy water.
Yeah, had 5 leaks in it. So
and it came back inconclusive, unfortunately, because
you had 5 leaks in the tubes.
Because it's hard to actually get direct measured proof. And that's what I'm saying. I'm asking for direct measured proof. Slice Barcanes is the closest I've seen. Eratosthenes pointing to the sun and saying the sun proves I live on a ball. That's garbage as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but again, he had 2 sticks, not 2,000.
Yeah, well, and then how far away are you assuming the sun is?
That's the observations doing it that points to it be far, far away.
Yeah, well.
Slice Barken is doing his thing one more time during the summer.
Well,
he's just going to figure out how to. He's going to make the tubes different so it doesn't leak. He's going to bend them upwards, the whole tube, without any connections.
Well, I hope he does it a bunch of times. That'd be great. Yeah. So, anyways, that's basically it. Let's just cut it off there because we're just going to keep going back and forth for hours.
You've gone 3 hours now, yeah.
Sweet. Okay, man. Well, thank you, Tommy. I appreciate it. We don't have to hate each other. We don't have to kill each other. We can just talk about things.
That's what I say all the time. I'm reasonable.
Okay. Very, very good. All right, man. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. I'll put the link to Tommy's channel below. I
Thank
shouldn't
you.
be promoting the enemy, but it's only
Yeah, you've been
fair.
a great guy. Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Tommy. I really appreciate it. All right, man. That's it. You can go whenever you want. I'm probably gonna hang around on my chat for a little bit more, but thanks again, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll pop up and get me something to eat. I'm hungry as hell.
All right, man. Go for it.
Thanks again, man. It was awesome.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Bye bye.
All right, bye. Well, that went pretty well. You know, there's always so many stupid things that can go wrong when you're live streaming. You know, like you accidentally post the link to the Hangout, so everything went smoothly. Shockingly low view count today. I want to apologize again, guys, that we didn't have 1,000 people in here. YouTube has admitted that they are censoring Flat Earth. They said they are literally crushing the exposure of Flat Earth because they're scared shitless for some reason. But you can watch Bigfoot all day. You can watch Ancient Aliens all day. But don't you dare think the Earth is flat, even though it's obviously and observably flat. Duh. But yeah, so I apologize that a lot of people did not make it through the YouTube censorship algorithm. I'm really sorry, but that's what we have to deal with, unfortunately. Great discussion with Tommy. Let me plug his channel real quick because, listen, I know Globetards, they feel like when a flat earther asks questions, they feel like their whole worldview is being threatened. I understand. But we're allowed to ask questions. We're allowed to question consensus. Please check out at Tommy channel here. Boom. Tommy in the chat says to get this on record. Thank you, Red Pill. It was a good debate. Let's just agree to disagree. Yeah, fantastic. There's Tommy's channel in the chat, everybody. Check him out. Take a look at some of his past videos, and maybe you'll find some holes you can poke in it. But yeah, I think we're allowed to ask questions. I think that we're allowed to ask questions about this thing. This thing that's pretty wild. I mean, you're spinning, you're upside down, and the other people are over here, and everyone's oriented in a different direction. It's wild and crazy. I think we're allowed to ask questions, man. Like, I understand that YouTube is going to censor Flat Earth. They admitted it. They actually put out a blog post admitting, Google, that they're going to censor Flat Earth because it's borderline content. And I understand that. If you really believe in this, if you cherish this thing, especially if you're an atheist, because atheists can accept this. The spinning space ball speck of dust model, atheists can accept that. They can't accept a geocentric flat Earth. Just can't, because it screams intelligent design. This random Big Bang accident, that atheists love that. When you want everything to be without purpose and design and intelligence behind it, you need the Big Bang. And that's the funny thing, is that a lot of times, even Tommy brought it up early in the debate. He's like, the plain truth says he's getting dizzy. Yeah, I know. We're all getting dizzy. What's up, R1C in the chat there? Yeah, man. Maybe I'll hit you up in the chat on one of your early bird shows, and we can talk. Tommy mentioned it early on in the debate. Tommy was like, yeah, man, but God, if God is real, he could have created a globe in a big universe. He could have created, what he said was, he's like, God isn't limited to a flat earth. He can create a globe and a massive universe with billions of galaxies. And I'm like, yeah, but the problem isn't what God can't do. The problem is, what can physicalist atheists accept and not accept? And physicalist atheists who believe there's no intelligent consciousness at the foundation core of our reality, they can't have a flat geocentric Earth because it screams that it was designed. So yeah, yes, Tommy, you can mirror. That'd be great. Yep, yep. Yeah, YouTube said it was. YouTube said it was. It was censoring. Um, it was diminishing recommended flat Earth videos by over 50%. So it was. They're hardcore. They're hardcore. They are really hardcore. What was I gonna fucking do here? Oh yeah, guys, they disabled monetization on my channel. I've not been doing Red Pill Philosophy for the money for a very long time because you just don't make money on YouTube anymore. So I don't really give a crap that they demonetize me. I just think it's funny how they're trying to censor Flat Earth. But there's an alternative way to send a super chat. You can send it right to my PayPal. I'll just put a link right now in the live chat. If you want to say thank you or put a little tip in, you can do that. The link's right there in the chat. Because they demonetize me. And this is what it's come to for the spinning space cultists. They have to now censor anybody who asks questions. I mean, just like poor old Galileo. Poor old Galileo. They shunned him, they censored him, and they didn't let him speak. They didn't let him ask questions. And it's happening again now, but by the people who believe in this thing and the heliocentric model. Maybe it's like payback or something. But they got to shut us up. And we're allowed to ask questions. And I'm sorry, the only reason there's a flat earth debate is because there's something going on here. Me and Tommy didn't just go 3 hours into deep, complex topics that the average, layman wouldn't even understand. Because there's no debate here. There's a debate. We're allowed to ask questions, and YouTube censorship, if anything, is proof that something's up with the flat earth. There's something going on here. Hawkins Astrophotography says you are pathetic. This idiot's been trolling for a while, and because you have the same name as Sean Hawkins, that meth head rat, and because YouTube is openly banning and censoring flat earth content, I am going to ban your ass because I don't care anymore. Y'all want to play this game? We'll play this game. So I'll ban any little troll who probably supports banning flat earthers. I don't care anymore. So I think I've been here long enough for today, guys. Thank you for everybody who's tuning in. You get a bunch of, you got Nathan Oakley in here, you got Arwin in here, Behind the Imaginary Curve wasn't here earlier. You just have a bunch of people, recognizable names, but you have less than 200 live viewers. So look, I'm just gonna assume that YouTube's admitted censorship is what's taking place here. One last thing, guys, I want to show you my BitChute channel. Because YouTube has admitted they're cracking down, I have a BitChute channel. And I'll put the link right now in the chat. You guys can check it out. Just cracked over 700 subs. I get hundreds of times more views on my videos on BitChute than I do on my own YouTube channel, proportionally, given the number of subscribers. And I'll give you an example of that right now. So the latest video I put out, had 4,000. It currently has 4,800 views. And if you go to my BitChute channel, the same video, which was uploaded a few hours later, has 123 views. And you'd be like, oh, 123 is nothing. I only have 700 subscribers on my BitChute channel. I have 208,000 or something subscribers on my YouTube channel. So do the math there, compare those numbers, and you'll see that there's a massive discrepancy going on here. Clearly I'm being censored, and that's fine. You want to censor the truth, it's because there's something going on there. So keep validating shit. I'm going to put my BitChute in the chat real quick so you guys can go subscribe. You want to see me uncensored? Go to my BitChute channel. Great, 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 great. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to sign off. Been over 3 hours. I really enjoyed that one. If you came in halfway through, make sure you go back because there was so much to watch there. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys later. That was fun.